Oh, this again. I've never seen this video game before.
Hillary Clinton was my favorite president.
Well, I always kind of wondered if that's what they were implying with this video.
This is firing off lots of rockets at nothing. This is a brilliant plan, of course.
Wasn't that the rocket test that the South Koreans actually laughed about and joked about?
I don't know, but that's the American nuclear test that the South Koreans carried out years later.
I kind of wonder what they were thinking when they decided to make this like intro video. They just went and found a whole bunch of video clips of different stuff and shoved it in there. It looked okay.
They were thinking that it looked really cool when Operation Flashpoint did it.
I don't think they were thinking.
And they got this guy to play Kim Jong-un.
Didn't they re-edit it? Because didn't it used to be a skinnier Kim Jong-un?
Oh, they made him fatter.
No idea.
Yeah, I think when they finally found out what a Kim Jong-un actually looked like, I think they actually went and like snuck in a patch or something like that.
A fat patch.
No, I'd have to look at my video because that would be before it.
Best character.
Meanwhile, this guy.
It's the best character.
Yeah, because he isn't in much of the game. This is not a retreat, we're just off, bye. Have fun, lol. And Japan joins the Greater Korean Republic after a bunch of unfortunate references to nuclear explosions.
Hey, look, how else are we gonna get Godzilla rolling out?
Oh, that's how they won.
Bird flu.
So
it's Asian bird flu. You have to remember that, like, everything Asian is bad in this game.
I love how they gloss over China just not being present, I guess.
No, they sort of explained China because, like, the US collapsed and so China collapsed. Russia, however, was apparently just left. It's in a different game. It's currently in Modern Warfare 3 with, like, the America that's built on top of America.
Nice.
They were.
How did that satellite only shut down just the outline of the United States?
It didn't. They just switched off all the lights.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's.
Why did they build F-117s? Why would anyone build them?
Why did they call in Blue Thunder?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
I don't know, it's happening soon. Oh.
The radiated Mississippi divides the nation, which is not different to how it normally is.
How does that even work? And why are they using Russian
Blue
equipment?
Thunder.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they just start using Russian equipment, and I think they just took whatever they could find when they.
Yeah, a lot of it's like stock movie footage. Meanwhile, we're listening to KPA twice.
Why does she say it? Why doesn't she? Why does she say 88.3 in English? That.
I don't know. I think I've got the sound turned too far down, but I can't hear this. I'm just looking at the subtitles.
I listened to the audio recently
Clear
to make sure.
in the subtitles.
Meanwhile, these people.
I like that you did this with subtitles.
Yeah, there's a reason I turned them off originally. They're pretty god awful.
Well, they are.
Not as bad as the ones in Tomb Raider, which look like they were done with CFAX.
The problem is that they're out of order on this one. This game has them out of order a lot. You called them out on yours too.
Yeah.
Oh, they are terrible. I don't like that they scroll up instead of just disappearing when they're done.
It's our gift to you. It's over here. You, the person I am pointing at.
I love how everybody in this game abuses people that are apparently, the center point of their plan.
Nice American.
Smack you in the face. That's a great way to get our pilot to do anything.
It's like, we've obviously got a concussion at this point.
Yeah,
oh, the load screen worked this time.
I didn't change anything this time either. I don't know how that recorded properly this time around.
I don't know. You're going to school now, though.
Hey, look, it's the last person who knows who the hell we are.
Yeah, no, seriously, we've obviously got a concussion. Are we sure that the rest of this game isn't us being dead in the back of the bus?
It's probably like it all turns out to be like the most mediocre dream ever. It's like one of those lucid dreams where like you try and influence it and it just gets really like fucked up and awful.
That sounds about right. I mean, you don't really have any input in this game's plot anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like that they couldn't decide on just one uniform for them. They had to have like 7.
Yep.
The guys in the red berets are supposed to be cops. That's what the wiki says, at least.
Well, the dudes in the big heavy
the wiki's
blue
like
armor
90% fan fiction.
I can't believe how much fan art I found for this game.
Oh yeah,
Is-
fan art.
And that is such a... I always just kind of marvel at the fact that the first thing they show you is marks. It's like they couldn't try and be subtle at all in this game.
Yeah, look, here's a bunch of... It's the Atrocity Ghost Train.
So, I decided to look at the right-hand side as much as I could, because I realized that there might actually be something interesting on the right-hand side.
you know,
No
different
use,
than the right.
silly fool. As the first guy to die in the game is black, obviously, because...
Yeah.
And there's
See,
no
check it out,
timer.
that child doesn't spawn, well, that little person doesn't spawn it until the blood spatter
Yeah,
crosses by.
the small, strange demon. To be honest, I thoroughly agree with the Koreans for killing the creatures who created him. Oh, it's a dentist. He has a talent for causing things pain.
There's the barber shop.
Those movies have a talent for causing some pain.
Other prisoner. They don't give him a name.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need one. He's going to be dead by the end of this sequence because, again, he has had the misfortune to be a member of an ethnic minority.
Oh come on, spoilers.
You know, the funny thing is the guy behind you's dead too, and he's the other black guy in the game. That missing Boone.
Yeah, and he doesn't exactly last very long either.
They kill off all of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Most people don't ever notice that there's a second pilot behind you. Connor kills 2 of the 3 people he set out to save.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, later on, they're all like, these are Americans, I didn't sign up for this. It's like, you killed 2 people with your plan right at the beginning of the game. That you did, in fact, sign up for this.
No, they got more than 2 people killed because their direct actions provoked an attack in a neighborhood.
Yep. And everyone in the obviously doomed home base, and.
Yeah, well, you know, announcing your position at the home base, the fact that the home base has obvious camouflage netting that any foot patrol would notice.
The fact that it's 100 yards away from a Korean checkpoint.
From a Korean mass grave.
Yeah.
And that,
Here he is with his unsynchronized sound effect.
yeah,
I mean knife.
I'm still convinced that he's
Nice.
that Connor's a Terminator. Yeah, no, you've never noticed how, like, gaudily he's dressed? He looks like he rolled around in a surplus store.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the other dead guy.
Yep. And they have both managed to find their way out of this game. So I guess that shows their resourcefulness.
And here's the only pistol in the game.
Yep. And it's a piece of shit.
Yep.
You can get another one later on. Well, the game hands you one later on, and I think you can get another one. I still love this.
I never noticed that before.
I don't know if it happens in the console version.
It probably doesn't. Like they fixed a couple of things in the PC version, like you don't get the imaginary grenades.
Were we just in some kind of White Castle?
You used to.
Yeah.
The imaginary grenade thing happened in the original release of the game, because I do remember that.
Does this game
Yeah,
have
that's White
product
Castle.
placement?
Apparently there is not a single White Castle in the entire state of Colorado, so it's very realistic.
Yeah.
I was trying to see how quickly I could run through this game without really stopping unless necessary.
And the answer is very.
It depends on how much the game hates you.
Yeah, I like the fact that in my run I managed to get the helicopter firing at the wall over there while these guys were dropping in. It shows their attention to nothing.
Yeah, did you see in the second end of the second episode, if you're not in the right place, the game spawns the helicopters, they auto-spot you and will snipe you with their side-mounted guns from...
Yep, it's a fantastic bit of design there. Also, when I did my run of this, the Primary Weapon Systems website actually did say as seen in Homefront. It doesn't anymore.
Yeah, Strangelove and I have checked it out and they took that off. I can't imagine why.
You know, I'm
Nice to
surprised.
see the textures coming in on your weapon there.
With all the product placement, I'm surprised they didn't get a real gas station.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't get Dunkin' Donuts and a couple other things too.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Dunkin'
they
Donuts didn't want any part
probably
of
wouldn't
this.
get a
This
wouldn't
ramp-
be able to get a real gas station because like you blow it up. It's probably the same reason they couldn't get actual Burger King in Modern Warfare 2.
Oh.
Yeah. This ramp, by the way, ended 2 runs. I got stuck on it. You can actually
This whole section is like horrendously badly thought out. If you go out there, you just die for no reason.
Isn't that a very good start to a game?
Hey, stand still and shoot a bunch of people. These are the terrible threat, by the way. These guys conquered the whole of America. This is why one man can kill hundreds of them.
I still think that if they had taken the Red Orchestra approach to gunfire, where you aren't a master marksman, this game would have felt a little bit better.
Well, they based all the gun handling on Black, so but Black's a really good game. You know, it's a really stupid game, but it's a really good game.
Well, some of the best games out there are really stupid. I mean, have you ever looked at the plot to Doom?
Well, we're fucking around with science. Oh, it's Satan. Whoops.
Well, and the backstory on your dude in Doom is that he punched out or killed a commanding officer for ordering him to shoot on civilians. Something like that.
Wait, Doom has backstory?
Yep. I was a big fan of Doom as a kid.
So I know Connor and Jacobs have military background. What's Rihanna?
She is a hunter, according to the wiki.
Oh, okay.
Hopper's a master mechanic who is also a DARPA award winner.
Yeah, they're definitely just making this up as they go along.
I'm pretty sure they played a...
Which one's the cyborg ninja? Is that Boone?
Where's Metal
Well,
Gear?
you know, to be fair, Boone does catch a 20mm to the side, and it just kind of limps it off, so...
Well, the Metal Gear is Goliath.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, it does roar at the end of the game.
Metal Goliath.
Yep. Sadly, Colonel Jong is not liquid.
We're clear.
Well, yeah, well, he does show up in a Hind D at the end. No, it's a Black Hawk, never mind.
Is it just a plane? Just a landing gear in a plane?
Yeah, this is some landing gear here because...
EMP.
Yeah, EMP causes planes to sort of spontaneously disintegrate, drop vertically, and not really be damaged.
And nobody bothered to clean this shit up?
This is the most bizarre segment in this game.
Yeah, you climb up into this treehouse, and there's pictures stuck to a wooden board with fridge magnets, and if you look behind you here, the hatch closes by itself.
I didn't know
when you sneak into the internment camp, they drop a porta potty on you.
Do they?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and they're using Blackhawks.
Yeah.
See, I can understand using local helicopters because of logistics, but I don't understand...
And there's a teddy bear that just flies over there for no reason.
Well,
that teddy bear's... That's a teleporting teddy bear, because Rihanna plays with it later on in the level.
They brought in their own tanks, right?
Yeah, they brought T-99s. They use American LAVs, though.
And they've got... Goliath is either it's a mule or a thing called Crusher, I'm not sure which.
Well, it is a mule. It looks just like the mule. You can use
Yeah,
one,
it
and I
also
think one of the Ghost
a
Recon
fair bit like
games.
a Crusher, so I'm not sure which it's actually supposed to be.
It's the Stargate drone that they send through the gate every time. Let's get it right.
Stargate.
It's that one thing from Thunderbirds that they never used, even though it would be useful all the time. Which is like virtually all of the pod vehicles, come to think of it.
Oh, so this is why they didn't clean up this plane, because it makes for a good obstacle.
Yeah.
And
they all just sort of hang out inside it for no reason.
How long after the EMP and their occupation is this supposed to be?
A couple of years?
Oh.
Like 2-3 years or something like that?
So that's what... I don't understand how the whole concept of they just sort of take over and they don't actually take care of the place that they're occupying.
Well, obviously, when you've conquered a country, you don't want to like actually do anything with it other than oppress it.
Well, obviously, but I mean, who has time to deal with an armed uprising?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just because like America has more people to be cartoonishly mean to.
Yeah.
Of course, they keep all this C4 up here on the second floor with all the doors barricaded except one.
That's where I keep my C4.
Yep. Yeah, there's some intel over to the left which tells you about where that China failed.
I just realized, I think this is the start of Mission 4.
Yeah, I think they do recycle it, like most of it.
I actually think that's the start of Mission 4, and if it was intentional, I would be amazed.
Because I know they have like a garden that's virtually identical to the one with the invisible wall in it. So.
Well, if this is the start of Mission 4, which one came first for this one?
Well, considering I'm pretty sure
one of
that
those time travel things.
Well, I'm
pretty sure
yeah.
missions.
They made the last mission first.
Yeah, see, I broke Rihanna's script again.
Because you're not allowed to open your own doors.
You can't do that. It's ridiculous.
Or no, that wasn't Rihanna's. It's later on. You can. Hers is the easiest script to break, but more on here is easy to break too.
He has the power to revolve fridges.
That's the Schrodinger's fridge. It follows you around as well.
And conveniently placed fridges everywhere.
Yeah, that yard back there is the one which has an invisible wall halfway across it for absolutely no discernible reason. Oh, you're being occupied.
I'm sure they weren't followed. Okay.
I never noticed that Connor actually has the earpiece on his character model.
Oh yeah, there's the teddy bear.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's connected to anything, but that's like that's connected up to like one of those monkeys with symbols, because that's just how Connor works.
It's like one of those Bluetooth earpieces, but I'm sure he doesn't.
But then how are they getting them to work? Because
what is happening? You're like clipping into Rihanna.
I don't know, I was seeing what else I could break, because as much as I was trying to run this game through, I wanted to see if I could break it at the same time.
Well, that's how speedrunning works.
Yep. So now you have to protect the most important one baby in the entire world, which the entire Korean military is trying to assassinate.
Make sure you shut that baby up, because the baby is the...
Don't let them hurt my baby.
The baby's the most
and then,
problematic
then eventually the baby just reaches up and smacks Connor and tells him to shut up.
I was kind of contemplated trying to mod the game to replace the baby with a chicken and make it a bleak reference to MASH. But...
That sounds like work, and that would be somewhat more work than Fuck put into this, so...
Well, that was the same reason I didn't translate all the Korean into Chinese, so...
Oh, that would have been a great dub.
I would have done it with the same board enthusiasm that they put into this game. What the hell? I never noticed that her character model, like, jerks around like that.
She's protecting her baby.
I'm sure that baby's... I'm sure that baby's gonna turn out fine with that green tear gas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this is what I miss is a drone that flies overhead here, and
is that why it stopped
looking
crying?
in the wrong direction. There it goes.
Yeah, because it's the drone that comes back around and firebombs you, and should realistically kill you and most of the neighborhood.
We shoot looters with true fruit shooters. Wait. Take cover in the house.
You gotta wait
where
for
is
Connor.
this objective? I think Connor's trying to take cover not in the house. Come on, Connor, military your way further over here. Need some ammunition in here before I...
Oh, you were standing in the way of Rihanna.
Like I said, her script seems to be the easiest to break, because the game doesn't know quite...
Does that dust effect actually cause damage?
No, I'm pretty sure I just got shot by an enemy.
No, because it did that to me. It does it when Rihanna opens doors, is that like you take damage for no reason if you're too near them.
I couldn't... maybe. I couldn't get the bug I wanted to go again, because you can dupe your gun on that backpack.
Oh, neat.
So you can run around with a pair of saws if you're bored enough.
But why would you need a pair of saws when you have Goliath?
Yeah.
The most phantasmagorical machine.
So, if they've got more than one of these Goliaths, then why don't they just use those instead?
Well, because you're the only one with the target it.
Oh, of course.
Goliath appears to just sort of like live in relation to Hopper somewhere, and it's like he's some sort of necromancer or something, I suppose, where he just like summons this creature from nowhere when he requires it.
I do like that you can completely ruin this section's difficulty curve.
Boing.
You know, there is some satisfaction of this game's ragdoll effects. I will give them that.
Yeah, so after realizing that you have this like invincible robotic monster, they're still just sending more and more infantry at you.
Well, it's because they haven't tried launching EMP rockets instead of, you know, just rockets at it.
Yeah. Rockets. They haven't tried like using one of Connor's plans on it.
There's the bomb. This uses Unreal Engine 3, right?
It does. Oh, you skipped over all the interstitials.
Yes, I couldn't stand to sit through them a third or fourth time, however many times I sat through those damn things.
I do like the one where he says the enemy is also marked this day and it shows a picture of Connor.
Connor is actually the main character.
Oh, he really is. And Three Dogs right, he is the enemy in this game, but... and something I never noticed that Tim did is, there's one blue guy and, what, 4 red guys over there?
I think it's 5 red guys, yeah.
I've never thought to look at the foosball table that close.
He stands alone. Must be absolute shit to play.
You can get ahead of a lot of the NPCs in this section, and if you notice, the NPC doesn't ever turn to actually look at you.
Yeah. The pilot's up. I love how they just like bring you straight to their base because they assume you must be loyal to them for no reason. Oh, there he goes.
Well, after your attempted assassination by semi-truck, I think they think you trust them wholeheartedly.
Yep. And see, this game would have been amazing if you were just a sleeper agent. Like, more games need to let you play the bad guy.
If you were just playing as the Koreans the whole time, and you were not telling them.
Well, it's not like you've got a head to show them, you know, your race or anything anyway.
You gotta fix those graphics cards. There's this new game called Homefront coming out.
What is that guy actually doing?
He's putting together sacrificial parts that they feed to Goliath.
He's building an SLI bridge.
No, I could see that being how they maintain Goliath, just like feed parts into the chasm that is its maintenance hatch.
Yeah, you just open it up and sling things in there, and after a while it starts purring or something. Then you have to get under it and like scratch it so that.
That's probably got a Mr. Fusion 3000 in there somewhere.
I just like to think that like Goliath is just like running on a cat brain or something.
What does Goliath run on?
Voodoo.
I suggested it's probably they get the black guy in the yard after he's finished on the stepping machine. They just put him in like a hamster wheel or something.
It's the ugliest children.
Yeah.
No, that's the ugliest child right there.
Yeah. Well, at least they'll be cooked soon. They're all these like weird. Oh look, K rations. Just gotta have those because it's survivalism.
So seriously, I'm not imagining anything. That's an American World War II uniform, right?
What that the woman was wearing?
Yeah.
I think so.
That seriously looks like, you know, the prototypical one that they wear in all the video games because nobody ever wore a green, the olive drab, what, past 1943?
Well, they all wear the olive drab in Resistance, which is a game I actually like for some reason, but...
I remember it being alright.
Yeah, Resistance 1 is, I think, the best one, because it's an old-school shooter, so you can do all the, like, strafe running and stuff, and all of the weapons are 100% accurate regardless of what you're doing, so you can jump and use the sniper rifle and stuff.
Oh, I didn't go and focus on the satanic vessel over there on the swing set.
Well, I'm glad. You didn't get the Molestro over there with the goat either.
I never looked at the guy with the goat.
What is he actually talking about? He says something about the goats eating through anything, and there's not a...
Yeah, he says. Can you believe this? Darn goats eat through anything. And then he says, "Don't suppose you know how to milk a goat, do you?"
He's milking the goat.
Well, we are led to assume. Look, here's a static weapon model. I did nothing to it.
There's an invisible wall here.
That's something like a 22-pound gun, by the way.
Yep. Well, it's the airsoft version, because Boone is useless. And here, let's pick up 8 things at once. Yeah, well, I can see you've identified your target correctly, but the game doesn't agree. And even though he's holding it up, you still can't go down until, like, nothing has happened.
Yeah, the ladders in this game continue to baffle me, because anytime I think I've got the timing down on the trigger, I'm wrong.
And you just glide down it because they couldn't be bothered to animate your hands or anything.
Also, I do love the fact that you can get ahead of the NPCs in almost every cutscene.
Oh, so you don't get the lighting change here, like you do in the console, I guess?
And now it's nighttime.
Yep. Because it unloads the entire map while you're down here, that's the only reason this tunnel exists.
And see, I'm fine with them doing tricks like that, but not when it's this ham-fisted.
Yeah. That's a... How did they get these edges so neat? It's pretty impressive.
Blowtorching it. It's kind of like when you're cooking with meringue and you use the torch on the top to.
Oh yes. All those times I've cooked with meringue.
What is it with mediocre games and incredible numbers of rungs on ladders?
They got to pad out the runtime somehow. I mean, this game barely clocks in, as you can see, barely clocks in at 2.5 hours, and that's with me intentionally screwing around.
Mm-hmm.
Attempting to derive enjoyment from Homefront.
I think it was around here where Jeremy lost his save file because the game is bad.
See, and that never had that happen. Matter of fact, when I rebooted this game, I had my save file still, which actually kind of annoyed me, because I had deleted the save file afterward, and I still had missing pieces of intelligence, which is why I didn't bother looking for any of it in the LP.
Well, yeah, the night the game came out, I wasn't even going to buy it, and Jeremy kept telling me that the game was going to be so great, so I was like, you know what, fine, there was like an hour left until the game was to come out, so I spent the $60 and I bought the game.
I rented it, because I have sense.
See, I did the same thing, because I needed a new multiplayer shooter, and I want to say Battlefield 3 didn't sound great at the time, and I was burned out on Bad Company 2 or something.
Yeah, I finished it that night in 3 hours, and I was disappointed in my choice of... It's probably the worst $60
wait, so it doesn't even fire at him. It's fantastic. So yeah, so now we've got this 20mm gun, which is, well, should be firing at these derelict vehicles, all of which are apparently heavily armoured.
Why are they powered by propane? That always, and such a small propane tank too.
It's it's not actually propane. I figured this out. In video games, medieval alchemy is actually real. That's a tank of phlogiston.
Yeah, and again, you can screw with Connor's scripting there.
That's why you get the exploding barrels as well. So that you need that stuff.
Take a look.
The explodium.
Yep. That's phlogiston.
Next one's not due for another 6 hours. Looks like they're ready. If we're going to attack, we gotta do it.
Why do they try and make this feel like it's supposed to be a tense moment?
Because they're really dumb.
Like, if I was equipped with a Remington 700 or something like that, you know, a weapon an average civilian would probably have.
It's a crappy revolver or something.
Yeah, well, I'm better armed than half the resistance members in this game, but that's a different kind of joke.
Well, yeah, that's because you've got a brain.
But, I mean, this could have been a more interesting firefight with worse aim and not as good a gun if they're trying to make this tense.
Well, they could have, you know, they could have made it interesting if, like, the Koreans, like, use drones for almost everything because, like, they don't want to have any casualties to piss off the people back home.
I'd love to have a game...
Because they're all big developed power and shit.
I'd like to have a game where you start out when the invasion first happens, so you don't have an amazing arsenal of guns, and you just have your civilian weaponry.
No, there's actually a game like that, and Tim's actually played it.
Well, what was it? Freedom
God,
Fighters
yeah.
was like that.
That's a Turning Point he's talking about.
Yes.
It's a wonderful game.
I started watching that, and your construction worker who can strangle a Fallschirmjäger.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, yeah.
You know, I love how when they show up in Return to Castle Wolfenstein, they're a legitimately threatening enemy, and they're presented with, you know...
Yeah, it's the same in Half-Life, where, like, okay, oh my god, humans have turned up, that's like a big deal. And then in Half-Life 2, it's just like, oh, here are humans.
Yeah.
Please be impressed by their AI.
I really liked Freedom Fighters, because you were the Mario Brothers, and the Russians take over.
So check this out. So he's missing it there, but now he's got the wound there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Connor did it.
I wouldn't put it past him for a negligent discharge.
Yeah. That's what his girlfriend said too.
No, he doesn't get in arguments with his hand that often, does he?
I wouldn't think so. It's sweetened the deal. He's got the white phosphorus. Oh no, marker smoke rounds.
Guys, I just noticed I got clipped by a 20mm round.
Yeah. I think you mean magazined by a 20mm round.
How did they expect anybody to take this seriously? Anybody that knows anything, like...
Is that really how they package mortar rounds? Just
No.
2 pieces of cardboard and some plastic ties?
All the ones I've seen, they just put them in those big metal containers, like 2 to a container.
Yeah, depending on how you're trying to ship them around, but yes, the ammo hoppers are... whatever the hell you want to call them, ammo cans are probably your best way to do it.
Apparently, like all these marker smoke rounds, they were going to use them in case of an uprising. The Koreans were, those baddies.
Why would they use Willie Pete rounds instead of something like... shit.
Submunitions, gas.
Yeah, submunitions, or chemical weapons, or...
Look at all those choices for sidearms you have.
Yeah, you can't pick any of those up, though, so...
They're flashing, though. Or are they too high up for you to see?
yeah, the pistols, you can't get them. I tried that.
Are you guys noticing that none of the weapon prompts are showing up on the screen, by the way?
Yes.
That's a glorious design decision. If you turn off the help messages, it also turns off the weapon pickup messages.
Oh, brilliant. Meanwhile, this bit. It's great that you have this, like, weapon with a suppressor on it, where there's absolutely no possibility of being stealthy.
Moving up.
I guess it was just to impress people with its fancy-ass camo.
Yeah, the camo in this game all looks like ass. I can't tell what they're actually going for on any of it. You know, neon green's not what I think of when I think of jungle camo or anything.
It's more ninja camo.
Hey, wait a minute. Right side of that hollow sight, is that a laser
That's a laser
pointer?
sight. Yeah. I just noticed that too. I was about to say that.
It doesn't know how to turn it on.
We're a pilot, not a shooting man's thing.
The pilot not in anything. Well, really, you're just the FPS protagonist character, which means that you are the designated anything.
See, and they could have easily have gone Operation Flashpoint, where, yes, you can actually play all the characters, and there's actually a reason to rotate between all of them, because they all have different abilities. Same with Ghost Recon, a game that came out before this, and...
Yeah, maybe you could play as somebody who knew how the fire selector on an M16 worked, even.
Well, obviously he knows how to do some kind of black magic, because he got the Scar H to, or the Scar L to fire and burst fire.
Actually,
Yeah, it's
speaking of
not a good kind.
Speaking of Operation Flashpoint, it was actually was a game that had the Russians taking over, and you start out as just a civilian with the original Flashpoint. One of the expansions, it was
You weren't
Resistance.
you weren't a civilian. You were actually a retired Russian.
Well, yeah, you were
Spetsnaz?
you were like ex-Spetsnaz, but it's still you start off the game with just your shotgun that you had in your house, and then you drive off into the woods to find the resistance.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that one, because I honestly, Operation Flashpoint kicked my ass. I was always more a fan of Ghost Recon.
I love how that bunch of guys out in the yard were all just taking the fence hostage.
Why is there a defense position set up in that backyard, not in the front yard?
Yes.
They were preparing for an ambush.
I've honestly never noticed that there's a bunch of sandbags in the backyard and no other backyards.
Well, they've got the 20mm
maybe
cannon
it's
in the front.
Yeah, maybe it's in case somebody like climbs over the fence that they'll be ready. Like, why haven't they destroyed half of these houses to get a clear line of fire? I mean, come to that.
Hey, bulldozing's hard, and nobody knows what a fuel air bomb actually does.
Yeah, bulldozing's hard. They've only got like dozens of the bloody things later.
I mean, yeah, sure, they fuel air bombed us earlier, but you didn't. You noticed we survived, and
Yeah. Wait, no. Actually, all of the bulldozers are on the bridge for no reason.
oh yeah,
So, why did they decide that the Scar needed a 100-round beta mag?
Because they're idiots.
Nothing else has one. Just this thing.
Well, they didn't even make that at the time.
well, it looks futuristic, okay? Just be glad they didn't put the OICW or the XM8 in there.
I'm surprised
Well,
they did.
well, the OICW might actually be fun, so of course it's not in here.
What, having a 6-round rotary, or not rotary, mag-fed grenade launcher? What,
Yeah, especially if you have all the airbursty stuff.
The XM8's
Yeah,
usually your
and it-
go-to future gun.
And it doesn't have like 100 million buttons on it like in the in Soldier of Fortune 2.
so I still love that, of all the things that they got correct, that guy's actually praying in the right direction. That still amazes me. Another guy working on computer parts, by the way.
Yep. Why are there computer parts in a refugee camp?
Black market porn.
Ah, right. For that matter, why is there a refugee camp in a football field? Of all the places they could put it.
Because that's where it was in Red Dawn.
Voice acting over there.
See, and this is actually an impressive shot. If they'd done more like this, where it's not completely ham-fisted other than a reference to Red Dawn there in the background.
And the helicopter fucking around for no reason.
I think they could have gotten that effect that they... Wait, did it just land on something? No, anyway. I think they could have gotten the effect they were looking for, where you had moments to reflect on what's going on, because this is actually something that you would expect to see. A refugee camp makes more sense than the crap at the beginning of the game. You know, if you had started here and you got recruited from here, this game would have flowed better, but...
Yep,
storyboarding...
it was not to be. Meanwhile, everyone hates Hopper for no reason.
It's because he looks Korean.
I like they give you the resident numbers, like that you just know that.
I don't get why you could get into this refugee camp and no one's like, hey, let me come with you.
Connor, would you follow any recruiting drive from Connor?
I want to hang out
No.
with this guy.
No, he's black, he's probably doomed.
I like how his eyes
Yeah,
are
even-
completely unfocused, by the way.
I think
Yeah.
even he knows. Look at him, he looks terrified. He's like, oh shit, I'm in home front, what's happening? Don't kill me, please.
They're not paying me.
No, don't let them near me. They're NPCs, I know how this goes. God, Hopper is hideous. Like, even for a character in this game.
Well, he is a burn victim.
Well, what Connor tests out all his lines on him.
Oh, that was awful.
Yep.
So I had to cut some footage in here because my computer hands it now and refused to run this game ever again.
I like how they have the American Refugee Camp Halt sign in Korean.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually, if you look at the little leaflets on the ground, there's actually translations for all of it.
Alright.
Bad things can happen to go in a place like this, meaning home front.
So I think the cut's coming up right here.
Was that it?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, what? I couldn't see it at all. It was so subtle.
Oh, it was more subtle than anything else in this game.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that was just part of the game.
I can feel a sledgehammer being beaten against the back of my head. Am I meant to feel something about this sequence? Like
Yeah.
maybe that it's good?
You're supposed to feel like this is an obvious trap because even the NPC, even Connor calls it out as a trap.
Get your papers and identification ready for inspection.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you don't bring your own identity in here, like you'd be like Jacobs.
I thought
Hey,
they'd
look-
be included with your papers.
This is an unprecedented crossover with Papers, Please.
Ah, right. Well, let the guy from Cobra-Stan in then.
Papers, Please is a fun game, though.
It is. More fun than it has any right being. Ah, great
Meanwhile-
blood effect here.
Yeah. and he's off.
Could you imagine if Connor was just slightly, less lucky there and accidentally just killed?
I like how the two
Protagonist.
Korean guards point their gun at you, the seemingly unarmed guy, instead of the two guys fighting over the assault rifles.
I like how you managed to get 150 rounds off that guy.
We're quite good at fleecing him.
He just had like all of them were just like glued to the bottom of the gun where you couldn't see.
I just noticed the ACOP scope has night sights on the top of it.
The close range sights, yeah.
Can't use those.
It seems like a really awkward place to put iron sights.
That's
Well, this thing's not supposed to break is the general idea.
yeah, it's a desperation thing in case you absolutely need some way to accurately aim at somebody. So this game is really wildly inconsistent on which lights you can actually break and which ones you can't.
It's the ones it wants you to and not the ones it doesn't want you to. It's completely consistent. I don't know what you're talking about. Now you got this mediocre piece of shit, or at least it was when I was playing.
See, I didn't mind it as much. I think it's because of mouse controls, it makes it a little bit easier to control, and the high rate of fire murders everything a lot better.
Yeah, it's because it's counted as an SMG in the console version, so like it has shitty auto aim.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I'm not fighting with the auto aim or anything at any point in this game, so... Because I noticed that you were liking the T3AK, whatever the hell they call the QBZ88 or whatever it is.
Tech Wobs.
Did you guys hear that Boone's gonna be okay?
Boone's gonna be okay.
Yeah, he's gonna pull through.
Sure he is. That's...
What are they gonna paint him white so that the game doesn't kill him?
Oh, the other black guy escaped without being killed, so...
He got punched in the face.
Yeah, he was in physical contact with Connor, and that's a fate worse than death. This is one of these games where, like, no one can smell anything. And they always forget about that in games.
They should forget about it in movies a lot, too, but yeah, no, you should smell this place. It should smell like an abattoir's asshole.
So like Connor, then.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised they couldn't smell that coming.
Well, if you're down with Connor all day. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he showers.
And you can see the Goliath targeter on the backpack, even though we were told to hold on to it. That's
Well, it's a backup.
it's the other Goliath targeter for the other Goliath, I guess.
Yeah,
He's got a breeding pair.
Ah, that acting.
I really wish at the very end of the game that Hopper was like trying to talk Goliath down. Like, I know it's you in there, Goliath. Say something. This isn't you.
You could tell that's probably what they were thinking because Rihanna. I love that, by the way. Just a good 3-story jump on that guy. Rihanna tells him that it's not our Goliath or something like that. So you can tell that they originally had some kind of idea like that in the script at one point.
They put him back together and turned him evil, and you would have to point the Goliath targeter at the Koreans until he came to his senses and made a heroic sacrifice. So Connor stole Goliath's role.
Why is there so much forest camouflage in all these guns in the middle of a city?
Tactical. We're fighting mall ninjas.
I also hated.
Yeah, that's why they got so many TDI vectors after all.
And you switched immediately to a different gun. Good job.
Honestly, in this playthrough, I think I just... and the playthrough I did for this recording, I just grabbed whatever guns were there.
Yeah, he needs to reload.
This is such a bland firefight area, too.
Yeah, go around the outside, no options, don't need those.
They really should have taken the sentry
what is
turrets
he
out.
doing? Did you see Hopper there?
Yeah. Now, I honestly wish I could have, if they'd God, I hate that effect. If they'd taken those sentry towers out and actually had you fight through the baseball yard there.
But if they use minefields instead of these dumbass crane things, then...
Yeah, and I would have loved if they had taken Bad Company 1 as an idea and just put in a giant map and let you approach it however the hell you want.
Yeah, Bad Company 1 is like not how they make games anymore, because like you have to make them look better than they actually could look, so that means lots of like loading pauses and really pretty first-person weapon models that you can only have 2 of.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I like being able to cruise around in a golf cart with the rest of Bad Company shooting at, whoever the hell we were shooting at in that game.
Is the rank. I forget what his,
Hi, Connor.
The Legionnaire or something like that, wasn't it?
God, that was a boring firefight.
Yeah,
Oh.
Meanwhile, back at the
We got
castle.
all that
Oh
open
my god, I
space
forgot to
work
cut
with,
out the funny part of this. Because this is still my old recording. Oh, this is great.
You fool, you're exploring. You shouldn't do that. I like how they've got all these excavators and they've just got a shovel there for no reason.
You got seen by the helicopter? Oh, who's this?
That's,
Even in the hardest times, the human spirit finds a way to adapt. That keeps me going, school teacher.
that's age regressed Sarah Connor, in the middle of her dream.
I was gonna say it's Sarah Connor. Ah, man.
Only if this is Terminator 3.
None of the firefights seem to have any sort of
You know what?
thought put into them.
They don't. And this is Terminator Genesis, or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Oh, the new one?
Connor's obviously the Terminator, and Hopper there is the new T-1000.
I think it'd be more like Salvation, and he's just the Gary Stute persona Terminator who everyone is just mean to.
Are you trying to compare Connor to Arnold?
No, the one in Salvation, the one who's like he's human and he's got human powers, and everyone's mean to him because people are jerks.
The one that's like 100 years old or something because he signed a contract with Helena Bonham Carter or something.
I don't know. I stopped watching that halfway through when some Terminator worms stand up.
With Christian Bale.
You know what? There was one good moment in that entire movie, and that was the T-800 coming to life and beating the hell out of John Connor.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking the part where it ended.
Arnold didn't like that movie.
Gee, I wonder why.
There was an interview that he was doing, and they're like, "Oh, you weren't in Salvation." He's like, "Yeah, thank God."
So they've shot the sides of the pit now, so obviously everyone in the middle is already dead, so they don't need to waste bullets on that.
Is that guy in front of you the guy that was guarding the door? It's
no.
the same model with different clothes.
No, he's the guy that was yelling at you in the first mission for going into his neighborhood.
Oh, he was also probably the guy who was sitting behind you on the bus.
Yeah, probably.
The helicopter pilot that gets no.
It'd be great if
remembrance.
It'd be great if there was dead Korean soldiers that you'd killed in the mass grave as well.
Oh. It's a big mortar.
Yeah, it's.
Yep. So 120 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's very slightly closer to the effects than the one in Spec Ops: The Line, which is a 60, and yet can still fire these like 1-ton white phosphorus rounds.
Well, look,
containing
okay.
devastation and liquid sad.
Yeah.
That graze
scripting.
just barely missed Boone's kidney or something.
See, I don't understand why they didn't use chemical weapons here, because it would get the exact same effect across, and it would be a lot more believable.
Well, it's against the Geneva Convention.
So is using incendiaries on people.
So is massacring civilians. They don't have any problems doing that. Oh, actually, no, that's it's not because these are smoke marker rounds whose incendiary effect is incidental. It's not actually against it. And you can use them on soldiers if you want to. It's just you're not allowed to use them in the presence of civilians.
Yeah. Well,
But
no,
the Koreans are very mean.
these napalm White Willie Pete rounds are different.
So Hopper has no military training at all?
No, he's a mechanic.
And they let him use the mortar.
No, and you've got two Marine, well, one Marine and one guy that is pretending to be a Marine in the back of the van there.
And the hunter. Don't
You've
forget
got
the hunter.
well, okay. You've got nobody in a mall ninja.
Connor is a mall ninja. He's the kind of guy I would see doing shit like that.
Yeah, before the occupation, he had like a dozen nightsticks, and he had no idea how to use any of them. Oh, look,
seems
check
like
it
he was a
out. Check
prepper.
out that reflection. It looks exactly like the sky. No, wait.
There's one of the reflections in this game that's at night, and it has a daytime reflection in the water.
I remember in one of the Medal of Honor reboot levels, if you look down into one of the reflections, you can actually see that the skybox under the map is square.
Just saw a Hooters sign.
Are you getting excited now, are you?
Oh yes.
Ah.
I've never been to Hooters before.
Oh, this guy's getting
Finally
excited.
going to get a bit of action in this game. It's going to just be like Korean soldiers wearing. That's the big surprise.
Oh, it's just Korean Hooters now?
Korean soldiers wearing the tank tops over the top of their combat vests there. So in one of my playthroughs, I was actually able to get ahead of Rihanna and get in front of that soldier before she kills him, and he doesn't do anything, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, her shadow actually works right in this version.
I just realized they repeated the same graffiti over and over. As you're going up the stairs, it's the same set of graffiti on like 3 different walls.
Well, it's the same vandal. He was just going up to the roof because like that was his real target. Meanwhile,
Oh, Tiger Direct.
TigerDirect.com, the giant store. They don't have those, do they?
Nope.
But,
This was supposed to
I
be...
didn't realize that. I just thought it was a supermarket. That's why I came out with that interesting facts about why supermarkets in games are always looted.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be a lumber liquidator originally, and then they pulled their funding or something like that.
Thank God.
And I was convinced that it was supposed to be a Best Buy at one point after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that one.
There it is.
So why is it on fire before they launch it then?
Because
That might be the problem here.
I think that they mistook flare rounds and Willie Pete rounds for incendiary rounds.
I like the way that the round apparently, like after you fire it, it then just hovers in the air and fires off 3 different sets of trails.
And I love that Connor yells at you for mercy killing the guys.
Yeah.
And then you're not allowed to mercy kill your own side later on.
Yeah. Well, you know, they must live with the consequences of Connor's actions.
No, you're not. Shut up, Rihanna.
I like how there's apparently so much white phosphorus in these rounds that it's formed into drifts.
Oh, what? I just noticed that one of the light poles is on fire. And
Well, yeah, it's white phosphorus and liquid oxygen.
And you pointed something else out. We should have had a bigger explosion here. Because any of the wooden crates you see in that area are supposed to be Willie Pete rounds as well.
Yeah.
So how does he misfire?
He says
has
that
no
the
idea
mortar
what he's doing.
jams. The mortar jams and he jerks the tube, basically.
Yeah, he says it misfired and it jammed, so he is imprecise. Maybe Goliath nudged him.
I remember talking to somebody and they were saying that it's real easy to accidentally double load a mortar, which should have killed Hopper instead, but...
So where did these other white phosphorus trails come from? You got the one that just happened there, and then you have this one coming, which, like...
He just kept launching more.
Yeah.
By the way, you can wander into the fire and die here.
Yeah, and you can see the end of the trail on that one. It just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, so each one of these rounds contains roughly 1 ton of white phosphorus, which is carefully designed to create a player-sized channel.
I'm telling you, originally this was supposed to be a Buratino or something. It was supposed to be probably an actual emplaced artillery position that you took over or something like that.
And then you would see the consequences of the actions which they had made you do. And it would be like, oh, didn't you just do a bad, terrible thing which we forced you to do? How dare you try to play video games? Meanwhile, there's a helicopter in it. So. Are these rounds guided by faith?
Now Fortune standing behind you.
Ah, right. Standing under the tower.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the game. Check
Is
out
this
my
for your-
hands.
Was this from your Let's Play, or is this...
Yeah, this is from the Let's Play.
The disappearing man.
Because something in here that I'm really disappointed that Vegas 8 and YouTube 8 at the same time. Because in Vegas, different parts of this section were blacked out, and on YouTube, other sections were blacked out, and I can't figure out why it did that. But this is the first time where it's really, really noticeable that the subtitles are out of order.
Eliminate the EMP soldier. Eliminate the EMP soldier. Good job we did that.
Yeah, seriously, take a look at that there, Hornet. You can see where it's blatantly saying those are white phosphorus rounds.
Yeah, oh yeah, I did notice that, yeah.
2 rounds, 120mm. Yeah.
Ammunition, smoke, white phosphorus.
Those are big rounds. But yeah,
There's
that's
2 rounds in that big-ass crate.
Yeah, obviously that's the kind of thing you want to use for cover.
Well, and again, why didn't they use a sarin round or something like that? They could easily have gotten the exact same effect across. That so North Koreans are bad guys, and you're not much better for using the same weapons.
So was there just some
because they were trying to be topical was the thing, because like the Israelis used them, and that was dreadfully mean.
Because
doing absolutely no research on what the round does is how you oppose things.
Yeah. I like Goliath just drives around.
Yeah, it just trundles backwards and forwards. It is now it's staked this out as its territory.
If you just sat behind cover, do you think Goliath would eventually kill everyone?
Yeah, I think if you take out the MP soldiers, it's just really, really inaccurate. That's how they try to stop you doing that, I think.
Yeah, but they give you such a short cooldown on this missile launcher.
Yep.
Because that's not a rocket launcher, because it's guided. You can watch it, the rockets will curve towards the target.
Yep. And it will fire as many as you select people, I think, even if it's more than it has tubes.
No, it'll only fire 4, but the AoE will kill everybody.
And then it just like pulls it back down and fabricates some new ones using its nanotech forge.
Yeah, so this is where you want to hide if you don't want to die to the helicopter.
Either that, or it's like that old picture of the diagram of where the shuttlecraft are in Voyager. It's just everywhere.
And see, they're the, is it the Z-10? Or Z-11?
Yep.
I always get them backwards, because yeah, that's a Z-10 Chimera.
And you shut it down because helicopters are scary, according to the developers.
Well, they're Battlefield developers, as you noted.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that this, yeah, why does the Humvee cruise right up in front like that?
I guess because like they have that thing that like small children have where they don't have object permanence, so they don't realize that Goliath exists unless they're actually looking at it.
Enemies in the restaurant. They're just having a good time.
Yeah, until you showed up.
I like to imagine in another game you would just be taking pictures of officers leaving Hooters and posting them on the internet.
Yeah.
And see, that APC, too, like, there's no way that, well, Goliath should never have been put in this game. Ever.
Yeah. I don't know what they were going for with this. It's like, oh shit, we've designed an incredibly mediocre game. Let's give the player an invincible death machine.
This is right around when Modern Warfare 2 came out, and the missions with the, Bradley? Was it Bradley in that one? Because you're playing a Ranger, right?
No, it was a...
Striker.
Yeah, it's a Striker because it thought it was a Bradley.
Yeah, it was a Striker, but, I mean, those were legitimately enjoyable sections. Matter of fact, I enjoyed the Ranger sections far more than I ever enjoyed any of the Special Forces sections.
Well, you mean you didn't enjoy following Commander Stereotype from World War II around?
Yeah.
I was kind of puzzled by the fact that apparently in the Modern Warfare universe the entire population of the UK is from Scotland. Or North London.
It's not like the average person can tell the difference between the accents over there anyway.
It's like, welcome to the SAS, this is Boz, Rosa, Manga, Chips. What's your name? So, that's a stupid name, can we call you Sozza?
Hey, you're just lucky that none of them were named Nigel or something like that.
Oh, they were probably planning on that.
Here's Tiger Direct, and then you get the shotgun, which is a great, like, this is my favorite gun in the whole game.
They nerfed it. Go watch Tim's LP and then watch this playthrough again. You'll notice I don't reliably one-shot people nearly as well.
Yeah, there's also the other thing in this area. There's an ACR with it's got like 40 rounds in it, and it's got a master key on it, and you can't use the shotgun rounds in the master key because shotgun cartridges are unique.
Are there any shotguns with scopes mounted on them in the game?
Nope.
Nope.
So why they model it with a rail?
Because it's tactical.
Alright.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? We were talking about this earlier, Tim, where I was saying that they obviously nerfed the shotgun.
Yeah, it does appear that way.
That was such a shame, because I remember at release, the shotgun was about the only likable thing in this game, because it would just send people flying.
Yeah. I think Turning Point manages to even have a bad shotgun, so it does actually out-rubbish this one.
Doom 3 had a bad shotgun.
Well, Doom 3 was just bad, though.
I don't know, I enjoyed enough of it. It wasn't great, but...
Yeah.
I've definitely played worse shooters. I mean, we're watching this.
Yeah, and I've definitely played worse shooters because I've played Battle Los Angeles as well, of course.
Does this sign say everything on that shelf is supposed to be $1?
Probably.
Yeah, marked down from like 98.
This section seriously has killed me more than anything else in the game. I reliably...
Yeah. Oh, you walked into a shelf, you fool. And there's Patio stereotype and his little child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get they're using this place to like store their fuel and stuff, but why they keep all the shelves in the same places?
Because organizational skills
why not use a military fuel depot, being as like America had those?
Well, why aren't they using any of the fuel depots in the area?
Well, they wanted discounts on cheap electronics.
Yeah, you've got to keep all the fuel for the jets, which they have fuel for anyway. After all of this,
yeah, I don't get why they kept the fuel all the way over here, nowhere near their
I don't
jets.
get how the Colorado Resistance knows that the American military needs fuel, but the American military doesn't know that.
Well, because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
Hey guys, guess what? You need fuel. We do?
I think in Connor's case, it's the left hand doesn't want to know what the right hand is doing.
And I'm just reminded that Enemy Territory did this exact same mission much better with Field Depot. Where you had to drive a Churchill across the map to blow up a wall.
I don't recall. Oh look!
That guy didn't even know. I thought that was Connor for a second.
My very first playthrough of this game had Connor and a Korean standing back to back shooting at enemies and not noticing each other.
Yeah, the lines of sight in this level are not there.
No, and there's so many random explosions on this map. That killed me more than anything else. Just not noticing that there's a yellow barrel to my right or something.
Yeah, because you've got to store all the phlogiston in barrels inside the building. You can't put it in like a tank or anything.
I'm convinced this is supposed to be an Area 51 map originally. Any moment now, a guy in a blue vest is going to pop up and say, "Hey, please don't shoot."
Well, Area 51 as in Black Site, as in yet another mediocre game which I've played.
No, I meant more of the original Area 51. I do actually... You know what, Black Site had some likable moments in it. Mostly David Duchovny and Marilyn Manson actually played well off each other. Otherwise, yes, it was a very generic shooter.
I like the way that the much vaunted squad AI never worked the way it was supposed to. It would always be like, it would get to the top of the squad morale, and then they would go and do a bunch of stupid shit, so it would immediately go back to the bottom again.
Yeah, could be worse. I mean, did you ever play the Thing game?
I did not, no.
I think I played that. Was that?
The AI would randomly decide it didn't like you after all, no matter what you did, and you'd have to kill them. Never.
Oh yeah, didn't that also
yeah,
have the thing where the testing kits didn't actually work or anything, and people could just turn into the Thing right after they'd been given the all clear?
Yep, and then there was also the issue that they had a bad habit of walking into a flamethrower.
I remember in my run of this, when that guy kicked the barrel, it knocked another barrel back towards him and killed him. I was wondering if that was actually scripted.
I wish. if this game didn't take itself so seriously, this game would have been glorious.
Yeah. So we're going to attach one of their tracking beacons to one of their tankers, even though it presumably has one of their tracking beacons attached to it already.
So at least we know. I'm assuming it's because we figured out which frequency that one was running on, but I mean, if we've got one of the tracking beacons, we could probably figure out what the other ones are running on.
So there were what, 3 fuel tankers?
Yeah, and we got 3 tracking beacons, and we only used one of them.
Yep.
So what would have happened if the 3 fuel tankers went to different places?
The fuel tanker just drove down the street to the gas station to fuel it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or if they noticed the guy running behind them, or if like they radioed them and they were like, "Hey, a guy ran behind you," and he like put something on your vehicle, you might want to take that off.
I think it's funny that they have those Korea-branded forklifts back there.
Well, obviously, they got to know what's theirs, so that otherwise they won't know to be evil to literally everything else.
So I'd never considered it before, but why does that Korean jump through the window instead of just ambushing you on the other side?
He's been injected with Dramazine.
Is she crawling on the floor?
Yes. If they take enough damage, the AI actually does take a knee. You'll see Connor doing it later on, I think.
It looked very Gears of War.
And I think it was supposed to be inspired by that. This game had no originality in it whatsoever.
I've noticed.
You know what, I think
the fun thing is that like Connor actually makes the cast of Gears of War look like they've evolved into humans.
And I think Baird was the only character that ever felt even remotely like a real person in those games, because he was the one that spent most of the time bitching about how stupid the situation was.
He was also the only one that wasn't incredibly gigantic.
We have to walk forward and crouch behind walls. I have a chainsaw gun. I am squad lead. No, you not squad lead. I squad lead.
Did you end up playing that that Gears of War clone with us, Neb?
Yes, I did.
The zombies, monsters, robots thing?
Yes, that was... I'm dumber for having played it. Shit, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
It's okay.
Must have been important. There's all these guys running around on fire. Maybe they shouldn't have done any of this.
Well, you know, she's gonna freak out about it, and she's bipolar, so she'll be fine in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, she also like suddenly has an asthma attack. See, again, you got wounded by nothing there. I think the NPCs have some sort of like harm field around them or something.
Conveniently placed file drawers.
Connor Morgan has killed 2 friendlies already.
Yeah.
At least.
Why does it say hater next to her?
Probably because she hates Connor Morgan like the rest of us. I don't know.
Now you got fuck the 718. They're the mysterious armored American football playing dudes who turn up in the last level, who are supposed to be like special troops. Only they don't do anything special other than run at you yelling "Groo" occasionally.
They do take like slightly more to kill than the other guys. That's about it.
Hooters.
God, that's so blatant.
Slightly more one melee attack as well. Oh, Goliath.
Guys, we gotta make sure they can see the Hooters sign in this next shot.
I would seriously have loved this game if when you hop off the roof here, your guy's foot gets tangled up in the forklift, and the rest of the game is Connor trying to figure out how to fix his plan now that he's killed his only hope.
Yeah.
Well, he killed 2 of his 3 only hope with the fucking rescue at the beginning.
Yeah, this part right here, when you jump on top of that forklift.
Yep.
Just, your foot gets stuck and you break your leg and you're hanging there and the crane just come over and execute you.
Or if you just get left behind here.
Like just Jong says like, hey, do you want to get revenge on those idiots who made you part of this plan? And then you just spend the rest of the time flying a Korean attack helicopter with a cyborg leg.
Yeah, they seem to put you in a lot of danger considering you're the only one who can fly the helicopter that they need.
Well, and the thing is, that is the dumbest goddamn thing, is if they'd just driven there and ambushed them at the tunnel, they could have set up a barrier.
I also want to know what they were planning to do with 3 helicopter pilots and only 1 helicopter.
Oh, that's why they killed the other 2.
It would have been just too bad if, like, the survivalist who Boone is friends with for no reason, like, just lied about having a helicopter.
He was probably one of them.
And like, why wouldn't they accept Connor as one of their own? Is he like, you know, are they afraid he would usurp them and like be so dumb that even they not have him as a member?
That is such a bizarre mission because Connor is almost a reasonable person in that mission, where he's like, no, these people are bad. Stop bitching about us killing them, Rihanna.
Well, the point is they're like un-Americans, so it's okay.
If they could steal Goliath, then how come they couldn't just steal a helicopter from the Koreans?
Shut up.
Yeah, no, they had to steal that one specific helicopter, which would...
Boone, no!
And we're back to
I
our...
said you were okay!
Oh no, not Boone.
We're back to the new recording, by the way.
He was a character.
Yeah, I noticed the subtitles. They even burned the tire swing.
I love this
Boone, here you go, you look tired. These are the jokes. And there's a bulldozer over there that they just abandoned. They just like they got it this far and it was just like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that like they just like they saw Satan on the swings and like he got angry at them and all of this was just him.
Oh hey look, it's our old buddy the Fridge.
Yeah, check this out by the way. You can see this is why I'm convinced the frame rate goes to hell in this yard is because of how they did the fire texture on that tree. Because it's actually under the tree and there's quite a bit of it there if you look.
Yeah, put some holes in, and you got some embers floating around for no reason.
Also, everything around Boone is on fire except Boone is completely unburned.
No, he's got burns on him because you can see where...
Look at that nice low frame rate smoke in the background too. That's wonderful.
Was he burned?
Yeah, you can see what looked like chemical burns on him almost.
Ooh, a mail truck.
And I
thought the idea of it was that like they'd executed all the others in front of him or something, and then he had talked. Otherwise, they wouldn't have left him there.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like the fact that there's not enough bodies back there for all the people, and you know the only black guy is gone.
Yeah.
See, and I broke Hopper's script there for a moment, but
well, I'm sure Boone probably bought them time to get away or something.
Meanwhile, of course, Connor has just managed to contact every cell in Montrose, which is totally how a cell system works.
You okay? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, didn't you know you were constantly in contact with your other cells?
Yeah, and give the unstable second in command, like, oh, there's the dangle pylon. Because that's what electricity pylons are for, is you just hang people from them. You don't want to, like, wire them back up or anything.
Did you just pick that up, or is that your other gun?
I just picked it up.
There's just a gun in that corner over there?
Yep.
It's a secret weapon. The game has these occasionally. They'll always have like stupid camo and like some accessories.
And to be fair, this one actually helps out quite a bit in this section because it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I didn't have that, so I had to use the cover of the indestructible sofa over there instead.
And the indestructible mattress here is pretty nice too.
Bomb-proof pile of tires and things like that. It's all for people who don't know the difference between concealment and cover.
What's supposed to be attached to the rail on the front of the gun there?
Rail covers.
On the left side where there's no cover. Or it's just flat in front of the actual rails.
America.
America,
I get the feeling that they took the model from one with the 203 attached, because that kind of looks like the heat vent for the 203.
Well, I thought maybe it was a laser sight, but it's too flush against the side to be a...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was actually them just being lazy, not bothering to look at different variants of the M16.
I kind of wish it was a laser sight, because then when you have one of these with a laser sight on the scope, you'd have two laser sights.
It's also got like... It had a carry strap on it, but they decided to get rid of that, so it's just...
Oh yeah, you can see the carry strap ring.
Yeah, with just a tiny bit on there. It's a tactical strap, so that you can just like hold the very tip of it while you're fighting ninjas.
Well, now you're having a firefight in a straight alleyway.
See, in this section, this is almost approaching a fun firefight because you've got people attacking from all sides, and it's not. Oh well, it's predictable, but
multiple elevations.
No,
my God!
They just introduced Goliath into the fight, so now
like if more
you've won.
Yeah, without Goliath, this would have actually been an interesting house-by-house kind of fight.
Yeah, especially if you could go through the houses rather than just like occasionally go into the garage. That would.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Rihanna's conquered the washing machines.
Oh, and this place is so full of weird hitboxes. In the original playthrough, CQC or Strangelove noticed that I was shooting the car about 4 or 5 inches to the right of actually shooting the car.
Is Goliath like as heavy as a tank as well, apparently, being as they just use the exact same damage effect again?
I thought they were going to use the fridge there, but Goliath just sort of makes his own path.
Yeah.
See, and this section could have actually been interesting if you rode on the back of Goliath and manually used its gun or something too.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when like the way to make an FPS interesting would be to have a turret section.
Yeah, actually.
As opposed to the like point the automatic developers don't want you to keep playing this section device at the baddies.
Well, you know what kills me is if you look, you can actually see the 3 enemies spawn every 20 seconds. Up there on the left and right.
Yeah. And they got a big water tower up there, which of course there's no sniper on it or anything, because why would you want to station a sniper up high?
Well, because that's where all the bodies are hung.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that water tower's just full of
right.
blood.
So the Americans hung the bodies up there to deter snipers.
Yeah.
Because they're very superstitious and they won't go near them.
They're scarecrows for snipers. I don't know.
For crow snipers. Meanwhile, here's a tank.
I was so convinced I was going to die in this section again.
Yeah, because like it can fire like right through the building, so it's just a complete crapshoot. You don't have no idea how you're supposed to do that at higher difficulty levels. Are you supposed to do that at higher difficulty levels, or does the game just end there?
I'm pretty sure it just ends there. You know, if they had a realism mode, you would have died in the car crash at the beginning of the game. It was like, go play a lower difficulty, jackass.
Okay, and Goliath can't take a tank head on, so there he goes.
It didn't take the tank shell there. I did, because if you notice, the tank was shooting at me, not at Goliath.
Why couldn't they just drive their tank through the same hole that Goliath made?
There are numerous things the tank could have done, which like fire
Instead
through.
of just drive out into the open.
Yeah, like fire through the debris.
Fire through the house, you mean?
Yep.
Just blow up the house.
No, the round would go through the house. There's nothing that would stop a tank shell in that house.
Yeah, especially since Goliath had already driven through the house and was just sitting on the other side of it.
Yeah, just shoot Goliath.
Yeah. Of course, you see, then the resistance would lose, and it would be a shame to do that after. Now, I think what it is like the Koreans have orders to not do this just because like Jong wants to see where the hell this is going.
You see all that smoke in the distance? That's your fault.
Oh, I shut off the sign this time around.
Oh yeah, there are bodies hanging from it.
Yep. It's oh, there we go. They're bombing the city. Yeah, these are all like the S-47 model and the fighter model at the end of the game. They're both lifted from Frontline's Fuel of War, which the same developers made.
No, don't shut up, Hopper. This is your fault.
See, and I would have loved it if you died here and you picked up on a new squad. And you can die here, by the way. If you jump off on the left side, at the right place on the left side, it'll kill you.
Can you die by being run over by Goliath?
No, I tried.
Oh.
That's where you saw me getting pushed to the side there. I was actually trying to die here to see if I could.
Because that's it's not like in Modern Warfare 2 then. In that if you stand in front of Honey Badger, it'll just run you over.
Oh, that's because Modern Warfare 2 is marginally better than this game.
It'll also happily kill you by shooting down RPGs right next to your head.
Yeah.
I have this random guys just standing guard in front of nothing.
Don't worry, I will protect this gate. Nobody is getting past me. I have shotgun cartridges for my PWS Diablo.
Yeah, that's something I know. That's what I was looking at. It's just like, wait, aren't you holding a different weapon? Yeah.
He's in the back.
See, these are a bunch of mall ninjas. None of these are actual resistance members.
You, go over there with the other struggling horrible people.
That guy looks like he was having a seizure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you if you had to live in this world?
If I saw Connor's face, I would.
And see, why weren't any of the resistance members here picking up that marksman rifle?
Because they're all stupid. Why didn't they try using the mortar here? When they're attacking a bunch of checkpoints, which can't move.
Oh, because shut up, alright?
Yeah. Because they get it, and it's like, hey, look, why was there green gas in that? They get it, and they're like, hey, look, this is important, look at all the ammunition this has, and then they fire it twice, and that's it.
By the way, that church there, you see me kind of staring at it for a moment? That's the church from the farmhouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for multiplayer.
So, is the infinite missiles that Goliath has on it not enough to blow up the wall? They need to strap C4 to it?
Well, you have to kill off a sympathetic character as part of your story arc.
No. The thing is, like, they have to put C4 on Goliath because if they tried blowing up the missiles, like, that would destroy, like, Denver. So it's just the C4, and then Goliath like tunnels out so that Connor feels like, so that he can be in a better game, basically.
This section is still so painful. Just
Goliath is now like sitting on a beach with the railway gun from Lost Planet 2. They're just chilling out and like sharing stories about being the best character in their respective game.
Look, there's your Korea-branded forklift again. Next to your White Castle.
Yeah.
I like that the White Castle's menus are legible.
I would have to question like how you could find any place in America where there were this many White Castles this close together, but there wasn't a single like subway or anything.
I still can't.
There's
find
a Hooters.
I still can't find a White Castle anywhere.
I had to actually like look it up because I don't know what White Castle is at all. We don't have it over here. So it's a company that makes these tiny, silly burgers. Apparently,
they're incredibly greasy and nasty, and they're good for drinks.
It seems to be like this sort of incredibly benevolent religious cult as well, going by the website.
Think of it as pub food for frat boys.
Yeah, you can get you get what they call a crave case, which is 30 of those little things. Or you can get the crave crate, it's 100.
Or you could just get a pizza.
Or yeah, you can just get a pizza. I think the crate's like $100.
I still want to know what the Korean says over there across the street.
Why are you firing rockets at us, you idiots?
Well, because the anti-tank rounds are... Well, actually they might be dual-purpose rounds, but they're dumb firing them anyway.
Yeah. I think it is the dual-purpose round, but they've got the warhead tip extended, I think.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it's the anti-tank round, but they explode like the dual-purpose round, so...
Yeah. So I know there's another one in multiplayer which has this like big, stupid like... has that Davy Crockett-looking warhead on it, and I don't really know what that does, but...
that's the I actually do know what that does, because we recorded multiplayer footage for it, and I tried firing it at a player. It's a proximity launcher, it's an anti-air weapon.
Of course.
And...
Does that... Oh, look,
wait a minute. But the Battlefield modders know that anti-air weapons exist? What is this nonsense?
They're not very effective.
Oh wait, didn't these ones... Weren't these the guys who made that one mod where you can fly the AC-130 through the chimneys at El Al? And they won't die?
Maybe? I didn't play that much Desert Combat.
So you gotta follow Rihanna. Wait, you're following Rihanna? What is this nonsense?
Oh no.
She,
so is that the only Korean storefront in the city?
By the way, I just pushed Rihanna out of the way there.
Yep, she's off now.
I forgot they use German rocket launchers.
Yeah, the Panzer III.
With a really weird reflection effect in the back of the scope too. It's like a sphere modelled inside it, and it really looks strange.
I would have laughed so hard if that bit of shrapnel just hit your, Jacobs in the head. Like
hit Jacobs in the head, just blinded him in one eye or something.
It's like every time I see something blindingly stupid, I just imagine what this game would have been like if they hadn't have taken it so seriously.
Oh, alright. An on-rail shooting section.
Yeah, let's climb in here.
An on-rail what now?
Let's go.
I'm amazed with the field of view here that lets you see that they've screened off the entire field of view here.
This is going to be a great section of the game, I just know it.
Yeah. I feel so involved.
It's just so much fun.
Vroom, vroom.
And it's over. This is the most pointless section of the game.
And now we're on to Utah.
No, don't come to Utah, please. I already have to deal with enough up here.
Wait, you asking us to do a U-turn?
What?
Never mind. It was a pun so bad that you refused to perceive it. I had that in Resident Evil 5 actually, with the bit where Wesker goes, "Your future hinges on this fight," and then he kicks you through a door.
Oh god. I've blocked out most of that game where Sheva was obviously the main character.
Where's the chopper?
Wait, this guy's just called the captain.
And air quotes too, so he's obviously just some idiot at the front gate that thinks he's something special.
He's the captain of this shit.
He's got the greyest hair, so he's the captain.
Yep. I've got a unique character model and a mouth, so you listen to me. You go with it. How does any of this kill any of these people?
Shut up, alright?
And you were carrying it like a fucking machine gun the entire time, and like they were okay with that.
Yeah, and realistically, as soon as you approach this place, somebody should have been on Overwatch. You know, maybe you with the intervention sniper rifle, and when you realize that something's gone wrong, maybe you should have been able to shoot the guy holding them hostage. You know, maybe do the sniper section at the end of this mission a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay, it's not a machine gun; it's a confused battle rifle, but we'll play along.
And I love this. My first playthrough of this game, the AI freaked out and kept telling me to shoot the enemy in the windows, and there was no enemies in the window. He was actually up on the windmill. Yep. I took a screenshot of it. I was so laughing so hard about it.
There's this infinite number of scary unguided rockets.
I think it's actually possible for him to hit you if you let him fire like 3 or 4 shots at you.
Yeah, he can hit you on the other side of the bridge if you wait long enough. He's a timer, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Probably like 3 to 4 shots if you ignore him long enough.
Meanwhile, this derelict house, which is inexplicably like full of people.
I was pretty convinced I was gonna die right here.
So, did we ever figure out why they...
Cletus, what you doing in there? I'm button, Ma. Leave me alone.
The strap around the charging handle?
Look, we've already determined that Goliath is powered by voodoo. I'm pretty sure your guns are too.
Yep.
Alright. Oh, the suppressed intervention.
Yeah.
That sounds nothing like a suppressed rifle would.
That sounded like it's like a kitten sneezing.
So
it's video game suppression.
So all of these guys are supposed to be survivalists, and you know they're supposed to be able to survive in this area against the Koreans. Why are they leaving so many bodies around? Because you know the earliest field commanders in the world figured out that leaving dead bodies around was not a good idea.
It's because otherwise, like Games Workshop won't make a playset of this later. This is the big gag here. Is that this is going to turn out to be the 13th Black Crusade?
Don't remind me of that game. I spent way too much money on that back before I realized GW hated all of us.
Yep. Back when they changed, I realized that back when they changed the paint pots over. You don't need as much paint. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that was about the same time.
This screw top doesn't open after one use.
Yeah.
Also, there's a piece of paper there that quotes that whole dumb Battle Boxes idea. It's Mike Sparks, if you've ever heard of him.
I know the name. I'm just not remembering it off the top of my head.
The M113 Gavin guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And that's another one of his ideas is having soldiers use shipping containers because living in a convection cooker is fun. Basically, if anything looks like a box, he's all over it.
It's got to be an aluminum box. Let's get clear about that.
No, he's okay with the A10, so it can be a titanium box as well.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know anybody that isn't on the friendly side of the A10 that isn't happy with the A10. So.
So, meanwhile, they're wasting a lot of ammunition because apparently they have that.
This script is breakable, by the way. If you ignore Connor and run straight here, they'll just shoot at him indefinitely until you go back to get Connor.
Can you kill the Korean there?
It'll fail the mission.
Yeah. Oh no, you shot our Korean. We only have 1,000 more.
Oh, and I like that they're green. These are green bastards.
Yeah. Well, obviously they've been getting ready for this since the Y2K bug. Because like that was the first time we had survivalists. It had nothing to do with that whole thing where we might have had a nuclear war before that.
Yeah, why weren't we fighting backyard bunker to backyard bunker? That might be fun. Oh wait, no, we did that in Fallout.
This section's so boring.
Yeah, and like they've all got like military weapons. Like none of them have like actual like survivalist gear, and they all have an incredible number of hand grenades as well, which for some reason annoys me a lot more.
Yeah, it would be more thematic if they were throwing pipe bombs and Molotovs at you.
Yep. And like if they all had like like shotguns and bolt or pump action rifles, even if you wanted to get things that never appear in video games.
Nah, there's no such thing. Don't stop lying. No, there was a game that did a pump action rifle. Oh crap, I can't remember what it was now.
It's like anytime a game gives me like a lever action rifle, I will use it exclusively.
Yeah, I like me some lever action. I'll use bolt actions anytime I can too.
It has become time for this man to leave this mortal coil.
Did you just fail the mission if you shoot a guy before he tells you to?
Yep.
Yeah, I did that in my playthrough. You have if he says like the rifle. He says like take the shot now, and then he's like the rifle's got a zoom, and if you shoot him before that, you fail the mission.
That's terrible.
Oh, the conveyor belt started up. I did not know
They
about
just
that.
want this mission to take a set amount of time and not a minute sooner.
Yeah, they played one shot, one kill, and didn't understand it.
Exactly.
No, or gillied up rather. That's one shot, one kill is the second part.
Or even the same mission that you and I both talked about in Bad Company 2.
Yep. Yeah, because that's like good. It's like you have to actually judge things, and it doesn't tell you everything, so there is still a role for you in it.
Yeah, well, and again, it really drastically helps that Bad Company is actually a likable group of people. By the way,
Yeah.
These guys all have different playing card hands.
Yeah.
I died in one mission because they'll actually see you if you linger too long to look at the guy on the left hand, but they've all got different hands.
Is any of them cheating?
I think there's two of them with Ace of Spades, so yes. But
So they detailed that, but they didn't bother with the rest of the game.
yeah, again, this game has got some really odd choices in what
Oh my
attention.
god, the Koreans killed Optimus Prime.
There was probably like one guy who put in all the interesting stuff, like different hands, and the guy facing east.
We just shot a guy, 15 feet left, or to our right. It would be kind of interesting if those guys heard it and, came over to investigate, and you maybe had to evade them afterward.
No, because there's another attempt to forcibly upset you over here, so that cannot be.
They'd probably feel you fire the damn thing.
I love how there's an oil drum there, because they couldn't actually make this thing, like, low enough without the NPCs seeing you, I guess.
And by the way, all of these characters are named after devs in the game. I like to imagine that they thought these lines were funny.
They had like a suggestion box. Like, what would you do if you were in this situation? And that's how this entire level came about.
Yeah,
So a bunch of devs just killed a Korean hostage.
yes.
Yep.
All right.
That shows they were a force to be trifled with. I know what I said.
That arrow was way too high.
There shouldn't be an arrow there. That is the worst part about this mission.
Then how would you know exactly what to do always?
Yeah, they really get arrow happy in this game.
It's like that follow command too. Don't put the HUD on there. There's no reason for us to have a HUD.
Yeah, the game holds your hand the whole way through. I also just noticed that the compass at the top is kind of like the one in Elder Scrolls.
Go to him.
Oh, okay.
That's the only one where you can actually not do what he says because you're allowed to shoot that guy.
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time, and I really wasn't willing to play through this mission again. I'm more careful.
I don't know why I was.
I am more careful on this mission than any other mission in this game.
Yeah, that was like my third playthrough in a fairly short space of time. So.
By the way, that guy on the left has a neck beard.
How many checkpoints do you get in this?
I don't know.
In this part.
Not nearly enough. Why have they got all these like, what are these, cutting blades or something? Why have they just got them randomly hanging on every surface?
Hey, why is that guy using a Panzer III? Why isn't he using an AT-4 or something that they could have feasibly looted from a National Guard armory?
Well, it'd be a Stinger would be the classic, wouldn't it?
A Stinger would make more sense than them dumbfiring a bunch of anti-tank rockets into the air. Yes.
Yeah, I guess like one of the weapon developers was like, oh, well, I think we should have like a nicer looking launcher. Yeah, everyone's got the Stinger.
Actually, even better, why not?
I don't know what weapons do.
Why not an SA-2 or a Red Eye?
Or some sort of like fictional Korean weapon from their futuristic arsenal that they apparently have but don't use.
Yeah, well, again, I'm looking at things that they could feasibly get from like black market or National Guard armories. Why is there a...
Oh, that's back. Boing.
Oh, they just hung that Korean.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's our
You
fridge.
can't mercy kill him, by the way.
I like how there's a scare cord there, like, really in completely the wrong place.
Yep.
It's like with Dead Space, where they would mess up the line of sight checks fairly routinely, so you'd get the scare cord and then the monster would just sort of like flop by apologetically a minute later. I'm a scary monster, baby. Wow.
So why do they just randomly have these heads on sticks everywhere around here? It's like inside their compound, so it's not even to scare people
well, you see,
well, the thing is, there are no women in this compound, so what they actually do is they put 7 Korean heads on sticks and then like bodies grow under them, and that's how they get new people.
Better than better than what I was going to go with, which is that they're secretly corn worshippers.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I wonder where they pile their bodies. They don't have a football stadium to do it in.
Well, obviously they don't do anything with them, they just kind of slink wherever they may land.
Imagine they probably eat them.
Yeah.
Or sleep with them.
You know what, if the boss of this level was Leatherface, or whatever the hell his name was, I would kind of redeem this game a little bit.
There's some guy with like all of the Korean body armor on him at once in a chainsaw. And he's like in a wheelchair because he can't walk anymore. He's just like chasing you around.
I make no apologies for my shooting in this game. The crosshairs in this are just god awful. And I may have been more than a little impatient at this point.
Well, you weren't even holding the gun there for a second.
Yeah, he was just shrugging. Like, even Jacobs was just like emoting for him.
And then
it's like there's a suppressed rifle around here somewhere, and like for absolute, yeah, it's like there or something.
There's like 3 or 4 of them actually. Because you can find one inside of a trailer, one behind one of the trailers, one back that way somewhere that I actually didn't know about. There's one back behind that shed, and I think that's one I actually go and get.
And they've all got Blue 4 written on them still, because apparently all M4s have that. It's just mandatory.
Absolutely. Yeah, see, there it is. Oh, this one's not the camo one, though.
It's to try and trick people. So if you got that written on your gun, like, the American soldiers won't shoot you. They never fire on their own rifle.
So I don't get why you just don't pretend to be one of the fucking survivalists here and just...
Well, would you trust a floating pair of arms in Connor Morgan?
Well, I would trust Connor Morgan to be in Red Hillbilly.
The one guy didn't even know that they had a helicopter.
Life.
So I don't think they really know who each other are in this place.
We have a helicopter. Oh, you must have just sprouted last night. Yeah.
Well, doesn't it?
That grenade just bounced off the wall.
Well, it bounced off in a weird spot. It actually bounced off the top of that tube if you were looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? We're in a trailer park. Have you ever seen a trailer park? It's like a clown car.
Well, it's his troglodyte sense. It's very strong in this area.
I like how he suspiciously knows exactly where to go to get to the helicopter, like he's been here before.
He's obviously a,
Spent his entire childhood here.
yeah, he's probably got extended family in the area. He's leading us past their trailer.
Yeah. Well, this is my grandma and sister. Hi.
What's the line from Hot Fuzz? His sister and his mom?
Probably, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he lives, I don't remember what it was. He lives with his mom and his sister. But what are they like? Same person.
Oh, he's still alive here. He's still reeling from the horrors of having a knife stuck in one hand and that's it.
Oh, you killed that guy.
Yeah. There's knives on the board, aren't knives? They're bayonets.
I've never looked that close at him.
Yeah, you can see the attachment. Even though no one in this level has bayonets, maybe they threw all of them at him.
I'd love it if some of the guns had bayonets in this game, so you could just go full on, Here's another cut coming up, by the way. This one's not from different footage, this one's just for me dying in a stupid spot because the game decided, half a mag into a guy wasn't going to kill him for some reason.
Yeah, and like this whole time that helicopter's been in the air and like nobody has bothered to call it in.
Oh, that's because, the 25mm would be overkill and wouldn't be very sporting now, would it?
Oh hey look, it's the church.
I thought it was a 50 cal on that one.
No, it's got exploding rounds, so I'm thinking it's supposed to be the 25.
Yeah, we're gonna need some cover to even get near that heli. Yeah, it's bound to be heavily guarded. You should be able to see everything from that bell tower. My god, Connor's magic.
Looks like it's just a random church in the middle of a farm field.
You know,
Yeah, you'd think it would be the best repaired building in the entire facility, being as like these are supposed to be like your rednecks and all, but apparently not.
oh, you see EMP affects wood, too.
The EMP effect worked on the Lord.
By the way,
It was
Well,
very powerful.
This is actually...
Didn't you see the treehouse? Wood's magnetic.
Yeah. This is actually proof that the suppressor actually does do something in single player, by the way, because the AI did never know where I was shooting at him from early on there.
Yeah, well, that would also mean that it was doing it in the fuel depot when you didn't have it, though.
Well, that's actually true now, isn't it? Never mind. Carry on.
It's a very effective suppressor. It even works retroactively.
I love the knife animations. They're so terrible.
Yeah, he just like pokes them with it. It's like be gone.
Oh, a shotgun.
Yeah, it doesn't have any of the force behind it that,
I didn't know there was a shotgun in this.
yeah, it's not worth using.
That you don't even get to use because the next section is you just
Yeah,
hanging out just sniping things.
well, in my playthrough, like it was actually pretty good during the escape because you still have it there, but I would guess it's not.
Yeah, you'll see, because I think I do try and use it in the escape for a while.
My god, look, they've replaced Jesus with America. What does that mean?
Nationalism, something.
Yeah.
They've accepted America as their Lord and
God,
Savior.
truly America has sacrificed itself for words.
I always think there's something in that room, no matter how many times I've been through here.
Yeah, there should be, but there isn't. Some C4 or something stupid around here as well, isn't there?
There might be.
Why do they just store crates of Korean equipment up in these rafters
Yes.
in the church? How'd they even get them up there?
Well, they had to bring up all the bullets that they then decided to shoot the walls with.
Oh yeah, snipe with the shotgun.
In the original version, you probably could have, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like realistic range on it, so it's really, really fantastic. But I love how you've got like all the like silly digital effects in the scope there as well. Like, what's that meant to be?
In multiplayer, it's actually like a really, really bad looking thermal.
Ah. Like in Call of Duty again.
No,
Wait.
no. It just like highlights enemies in green or something like that.
Yes, this is the. You can actually, if you are playing this at home, you can simulate this by just like coming up with an order to click on the icons on your desktop, and then just waiting random lengths of time to do it.
There's no challenge here. You know, it would be kind of neat if you had a decision of which enemies to eliminate and that determine which order they moved up or something.
They even give you arrows to tell you to wait to shoot the guy.
Or like if you had a radio and you had like a command to tell them to move up even. So you were the one deciding if there were enough bad guys down and they were just constantly respawning. So this reminds me a bit with the SR-71 in Black Ops where like you're in it for a minute, it tells you how to use it and then it ends. Except that even that is better than this.
I really need to play that. I saw it on G2A cheap enough, I'm probably going to do that.
It's got Gary Oldman overacting in it, and that's really all you need.
It's a pretty good selling point. See, why can't I just shoot him here? There's nobody in the area that would actually see him go down, because we've eliminated most everybody else.
Because you have to wait until the game tells you he's behind the red truck.
You know, matter of fact, right there, well, whatever.
See, now he's behind the red truck. Now you have learned something with Homefront. Today's episode of Homefront was brought to you by the number Shed.
Speaking of Sesame Street, did you see the Game of Thrones parody that they did?
I did not.
They're pretty cheeky about it.
I'll have to look that up.
I'll link it afterward. I'll see if I can find it again. It's pretty...
See, that guy was behind the blue truck. That's not the red truck.
This really is a Sesame Street segment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just...
Connor remains behind the rest of the human race.
So how did the preppers get the helicopter?
Also, wait a minute. Look at that suppressor. It's actually not covering the flash hider.
Really?
No, you wait till you zoom out. You'll see it. You can still see the holes in the hider. Maybe the hider is CQC compatible.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Yeah,
it's just shoved on the end.
I had never even noticed that.
That's brilliant.
By the way, this
we don't know what guns are.
Yes, I did try to shoot the rocket down.
You better get out of the. No, now you're back in the tower. Was that a stealthy edit I saw?
Yes, like I said, I was really not willing to play through this mission to get a no-death run. I told myself 3 separate times throughout this whole Let's Play that I was going to do no-death runs through each mission, and every time this mission particularly broke me.
Yeah, it's just random. It's like you just have to hope that the guys who spawn in with crappy weapons close to you, otherwise you're dead. Like if you're near a guy with an M4, you'll be dead halfway up that way, and there's nothing you can do.
That's like most of the close quarters missions. Same with the Tiger Direct.
Yeah, the Tiger Direct, like you can get through it at least a bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Except like the middle section, I guess. But like here, it's random.
And you can kind of see, like, I was having decent luck with the shotgun, but there was a couple of times where I had a guy full on the chest, and he just kind of stares at me and shoots me again.
Yeah, hey there. That's kinky. I like that.
You have to wait to get in and start the helicopter while these two get in.
Yeah,
they've got to conduct the pre-flight apathy.
It should be the opposite.
If you die there, by the way, you do have to do that whole run again.
Oh, that sucks.
I've died there,
Good work, everyone. By which I mean the one guy who can fly the helicopter. The rest of you did nothing.
And then all of us.
Yeah, it shouldn't. This is actually a kind of fun section.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the game, yes.
They still didn't turn off you being insta-killed. I got that in my video as well. That's like I got the Chimera flew in and just aced me in one shot.
I try not to use the thermal the entire time time around.
I forget if you were allowed to destroy the windmills or not. I think you're not.
No, you're not.
What does that post-it note say?
It's too low res.
It says make video game.
It said do not something.
Do not make home front.
Like do not make this game. And it's got a picture of someone in it.
If you scrape the top of the tunnel, you die.
It doesn't kill you; it bounces you off. I did it. I don't know.
When I did it, insta killed me.
This might be a patched version too. I don't know. I don't remember dying instantly in the other version when I first played it either, though.
So as I recall, the tankers are invincible here, which is dumb.
It's definitely a nice thing, though, because otherwise you would probably scrub this mission over and over trying to do it.
I still don't understand like what is supposed to be difficult about this sequence, because all you do is just scrape along the ground, hammer the use button, and wait.
The first time I played this, I actually didn't know that's what they were asking you for, so it took me about 20 seconds.
Look at that levitating tanker in the lead.
It's a good thing that these tankers were out on this open highway exactly when you got the helicopter.
The squadron of battle lever ships.
Well, it's a good thing none of those drivers noticed me bouncing off the truck.
Yeah. Oh my god! How could that happen? And meanwhile, you're just ignoring the SAM site there.
Oh, the SAM.
Also, these drivers do nothing to try and like avoid their ultimate fate.
But they can't hear anything, so they're like inferior to even us who can't smell anything.
It's the most frustrating part about this mission is that you can't fly ahead and just clear areas out.
Stay in this invisible circle. Otherwise, Connor will be attacked by himself.
See, and that could have been a clever way of doing it. Instead of giving you that blatant countdown timer, if you get too far away, infantry spawns and starts shooting rockets at them or something.
Oh, missile warning. Oh, you're not getting the to activate missile defeat.
Yeah, I think I forgot what.
Press X to missile defeat.
My flare button in Battlefield is different than my flare button in this game, so I think I was hitting the wrong button at that point.
I just love that tooltip. It's the same in like the first level where it's like to throw a grenade. It's like what language was this originally in?
Swahili. Honestly, it was, well, maybe French.
There's a very dangerous SAM site there firing at that mountain.
Also, why do they have SAM sites?
Because realistically, you would have SAM sites up on the top of the mountains there, and we would never have gotten anywhere near this mission.
Yeah, but where are the... Are they expecting there to be enemy air in the area?
I think this is supposed to be a little...
They're probably expecting like resistance members to steal their helicopters, being given how easily we did it must happen all the damn time.
The real guess is this is probably a logistics route, and it would actually make sense to cover it, but nobody in this game is that smart, so...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose it would make sense that they were shipping jet fuel towards the battle they're about to have, but... Then again, no, they were going this way.
Well, if they're shipping the jet fuel to the battle they're about to have, aren't they on the wrong side of the river?
Maybe they didn't know which side of the battle they were supposed to be shipping it to. Yeah. So if Connor had done nothing, they would have accidentally delivered it. That would probably be.
Yeah, if you just let the convoy keep going, would they have just delivered it to the army anyway?
Yeah.
Hey, wait, where is this actually?
Actually, what we did was kill a bunch of vastly more competent double agents who were in the process. Wouldn't that just be perfect? Yeah, we're in California now. Your guns just got crappier. You might have noticed.
First time I ran into a bullet clip, bullet mag release, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We were confused about it because we'd never seen that before. That was actually pretty funny.
The magazine clip,
button.
Yeah. Bullet button.
Yeah, the bullet button. We figured that because a friend of mine had bought it off of a coworker, and didn't realize that it was set up that way, so we were thinking that the magazine release was jammed on his car 15, whatever you want to call it. So we spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out how to unjam the button, not realizing what it actually was.
It was communism. So yeah, just got a bunch of like little dots exploding everywhere now. It's the red dot killing simulator.
You know, it would be kind of great if you just had like a magnifying glass and you're just blowing up the little red dots that way instead.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this game really shouldn't have taken itself nearly as seriously as it does. Like,
or he was just like, it was just reaching, or was just reaching up
that.
and crushing them with his fingers.
The game would be great if it had like a BC2 comedy flair to it.
Or even a bullet storm of flair because of how bad the script is.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You know, if all of your characters are realizing how stupid this game was, and you know, Connor's plan is to assault the fuel depot because the enemy decided to set up in a Tiger Direct because they were too busy playing the PlayStation 2 demo or something.
He was going to assault it because he's there, and he's like, he's actually just like sort of like Korean experiment to cross a human and a Jack Russell. Why are we chasing them? Because they're running away. Arf, arf, arf.
No, guys, don't drive any faster.
Yeah, it's
okay.
all right. We have forever. These guys have like
Also, like,
incredible regenerating
which
health too.
It tells you which one's in which truck, like it matters.
Well, you know, and it's a good thing that that attack helicopter, you know, came low and away from us rather than, you know, shooting us with its air-to-air armaments.
Wait, helicopters can shoot air to air?
Yeah.
No, because they wanna attack the defenseless fuel trucks instead of the heavily armed scout helicopter.
Yeah, could you imagine if their Chimera just rolled out with like a stolen Sidewinder or something like that, kind of like the H-64 can mount?
I think it was just like the guy was in there was just like had a huge mustache and was just like going. Ha, 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 ha.
No, it's not a Sidewinder on the H. It's a Stinger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you can do both actually, can't it?
I'll have to look it up later. I can't remember which. 'Cause I know
I know it can do Stingers because that's in Ace Combat, and Ace Combat is completely realistic in all ways.
That's
Not that Assault Horizon was actually good or anything, but
What, you mean like the enemy pilot ramming your pilot as he's ejecting?
yeah. What, you mean that doesn't happen? Next you'll be telling me that you can't put like 400 missiles on one plane.
You know what, I still say Ace Combat Zero is more realistic than anything in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Why
Is that an aircraft carrier?
It is, yes. It's supposed to be the John C. Stennis.
Where did you find that out?
No.
Because I could not see a name on that. Oh, I love this, by the way.
You can see the number on it if you fly right over to it.
Did you just do a
Yes.
flip? Alright.
So they shrank it and then hit it in. Isn't this a lake or something?
I don't know. I honestly don't know where we're supposed to be at in California at this point.
I want to know what happened to those two cargo ships over there.
They're sleeping. Don't wake them up.
Look, it was a late night. They got home drunk.
Oh, America's been invaded. Well, it ain't worth driving properly anymore.
And this section.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to wait here for 5 minutes while
Destroy
they
the red dots.
plant
Well,
explosives.
You know, it would be kind of
also,
nice.
also didn't he say like he was putting all the C4 on Goliath? So where would you get this lot from?
We stole it from the backseat of the scout helicopter.
Ah. Also, if you turn around, you'll see he's also setting up like really useful red flashing lights on each charge.
Yeah, this part of this mission kind of ruined this whole section for being.
Well, and
fun.
if they had infantry advancing across the other bridge, the guys getting on the on-ramp, attack helicopters coming in to try and intercept you,
You could actually go over there.
that...
'Cause that's outside the mission area, in case you don't know.
Yeah. There's so many things they could have done here. You know, one of the smarter things they could have done is put an artificial cap on the flight ceiling by pointing out that if you fly too high, real SAM sites will knock you out of the sky.
Well, I think that's why there is a cap on the flight ceiling. It's just too high.
Well, that's what I mean, like, you shouldn't be able to go higher than this, because that would immediately fix the issue of us being able to just annihilate the on-ramp.
Those flashing lights are very important.
Yeah.
They are. They let you know where the special effects budget's supposed to be going.
Yeah, well that's
Shouldn't
what
they be
Hopper
placed
was...
closer to the support pillars?
Hey, shut up.
Don't be stupid. If you destroy the guide rail, the bridge won't be safe anymore. Koreans wouldn't dare use it now.
Well, the support pillars don't actually blow up. It's just the center parts that...
The thing is...
this is completely safe unless they have a bridge layer.
Yeah, just lay a bridge down and we're all set. No, but they left that in Korea.
Too busy bringing the F-117s over.
Yeah, they figured we would have one here already.
We'll be arriving in air escort, except that we can't fly over that hill, so...
How did Connor know what frequency to use?
He guessed.
He just guessed? Oh, this is the frequency.
Once upon a time in America, our military was a well-oiled machine. It was so sexy. Wait. Did I say that out loud?
No, nobody heard anything about how sexy our well-oiled machine was.
Yeah. That was Goliath again.
Alright, you two, you're with me. You two, follow
Yeah, walk through that tail rotor. I'm amazed they didn't have that kill you.
I'm kind of disappointed they didn't. I had to go talk to that guy. He's got the best delivered line in the game.
Yeah. I hate this fucking bridge that I keep in this little box. And he's just packing a tiny bridge into that case. That's what he's talking about.
You're the trained military pilot, but they don't give you a helicopter to fly. They want you to go on the ground.
Yeah, no, obviously it suits the theme far better to have the level where you are literally free as a bird, be the second to last one, and then just have this shit.
Well, and again, why not give us the attack helicopter this time and actually have us doing strike missions across the entire bay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because then when the Goliath shows up, you wouldn't have any problem.
Because that would actually be kind of a cool section if, you know, the guys taking Alcatraz to knock out the AA that would actually realistically be there, because why would you put it on the bridge?
And there's a submarine there for no reason. Yeah.
You know, maybe...
You know, one thing that would be kind of neat is, like, if it turned out that the guy in the Satan helicopter that chases you near the end of the level was one of the other pilots who was on the bus, and he was like, "It's you fuckers."
And, you know, they mentioned the anti-air, so why are we flying anywhere even remotely this high up? Why not fly really close to the water so that the AA can't shoot at us at all?
But you're talking about a level where they moved the sun just to make it more irritating. I think, like, any questions that could be asked at all are spurious.
See, and this game wants to be taken seriously, and then they have this section where it's a literal loop of Wilhelm screams.
Yeah. And, like, in addition, like, you're shooting all these people with the M203, you're not going to land here or anything. There's no point in doing this.
I'm just easily abused, honestly. I do like the ragdolls.
Well, no, I was more talking about, like, why are you doing this from a military perspective? Like, what is the purpose of attacking this support now?
Well, because they're there.
My god, the surprise tank!
And grenade didn't blow up.
No, it did.
It digested it. It added the phlogiston to its own inventory. So meanwhile, let's just, like, land as far away from our objective as we can possibly get.
Hey guys, nobody land in cover or anything.
Yeah. Let's not blow up the obviously occupied depot area, which has a big fuel tank next to it. So yeah, now you've got your useful giraffe camo weapon.
What is this camo supposed to be?
You basically land like 100 yards from where you took off, so...
It's disruptive camo, like it disrupts your ability to determine why it is camo.
Oh, this has a little bipod on the bottom of it.
It's a big grip pod, yeah.
I like all the bipods you can't use in this game.
What's a bipod?
That's a guy who likes guys and also girls.
Sounds about right. Oh god. And honestly, this really is the best mission in the game. It's the closest to approaching a competent shooter, and it's kind of depressing.
Even though it has like a million different bosses because they couldn't decide which one to have at the end.
Yeah, I don't mean
so just,
that part.
That is like, I reckon what happened was that they had a bunch of teams, they all brainstormed an idea, and like nobody was really in charge enough to say like, okay, we're going with this one. So they just had to do all of them.
See, and they could have easily have done something kind of like Shock It On, Call of Duty 4, where you start out in the helicopter, maybe you get shot down and have to fight your way to meet up with everybody, or somebody comes and rescues you, and you have to fight your way out.
And instead there's just like a column of tanks which Rhiannon pulls out of her ass, which are suddenly a thing.
And, you know, of course nobody in the Marines here, or the Army, well, I don't know. I think the game wants you to think they're Army, but in multiplayer they call them Marines. So... And
I guess the check would be if anyone's called a soldier without, like, lynching the person responsible, that would be how you'd tell.
well, they're using Marine vehicles, but I don't know.
Well, who takes over Alcatraz?
SEALs.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
Navy SEAls?
People with a more interesting job than you.
Yeah.
Again,
They should have let you go with
Shoot
them.
the,
That would've
shoot the
been
stationary
more
vehicle 3 times.
if they really had to go with a, you know, finale ground set piece instead of an air set piece, Alcatraz would have made more sense, because you could very easily set up an anti-air battery in the area, and it would...
I was sort of like hoping that there would be like some sort of like giant Korean future tank on the bridge or something.
There is.
No, it should be a
Goliath.
Metal Slug boss.
Yeah.
It's just Metal Gear.
The Yamato on tank treads again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or the, was it 1 or 2 that had the super giant tank with, 2? First mission of 2 where the tank...
I think that's all of them.
No, I was thinking of the one that stands up on stilts. That's 2.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that the one which has a hermit crab in it in
Yeah.
3?
Is that one Korean soldier invulnerable?
Yeah, apparently...
No, if you don't kill him, Connor will knock him off the edge.
I know, he was commenting on the fact that I shot a rocket 3 feet to his left and didn't kill him. If you don't hit them directly with a rocket launcher, it doesn't kill them, by the way.
Oh, are they? Is that because they're anti-tank rounds?
I don't know.
And apparently that means that,
That man was
you have to
happy.
hit them directly. Oh god, what game was that?
For which one?
Oh, I would always tell you that you were firing anti-tank. Oh, it was Metal Gear. Metal Gear Rex and Metal Gear Ray have anti-tank rockets in them, so you have to be hit directly to take damage from them.
Oh no, it has a smaller blast radius. So Altagon was like, okay, you're not totally screwed, because like it doesn't have dedicated anti-personnel rounds, which that's fairly fair at least.
Well, yeah, it's got machine guns and a
Why
laser.
is he trying to melee you there?
Because maybe somebody threw a ball over the edge of the.
There's a balloon that got loose, we just didn't see it.
Yeah. There's like a puppy ran between your legs or something, and like he was like, no.
I remember in this section I found the gun that had the shotgun underneath, and I just used that.
Yeah, I didn't really go out of my way to look for anything particular other than the SCAR, because I like having the LMGs in this game.
What is with all the guys who just like
Yeah.
charge at you in this level? Like they're just giving up and they're just trying to.
Well, because they're special
Barges
forces
that
units. Was this about the time when the Black Watch bayoneted their way out of somewhere?
I doubt it.
I know it was right around this time.
That would involve this game being topical.
Well, they put the sinking of the South Korean vessel and everything, and
That's the quietest gunfire in the game, in the world, ever.
I like how that helicopter gets that close, by the way. Because that cockpit's not really that bulletproof, by the way.
Firebase Bravo, this is Sierra Actual. Fire for effect, 10 rounds, hard target, grid, 5, command.
Well, yours was.
459er.
Oh, let's guess we're the protagonist, and it's in the script.
So how come he can give coordinates to fire on, but Connor needs a flare?
Because they want to kill Connor.
I don't blame him.
That was the whole idea, is that like, okay, who's calling us? Right, okay, let me handle this. We don't know where you are, person I am looking at on the IR. No idea, sorry.
It would have been way better if you are the one who sacrifices yourself to get blown up.
Why?
Because you don't have any
But-
personality. There's
well-
nothing there for you to...
Yeah, because
But that would mean that Connor was still alive.
Because then it's like a meaningful sacrifice because it's like you doing it, but it's just Connor, so everyone's just okay, whatever.
Yeah, you're
That's
saying it
fine.
would be better if Connor was still alive. Are you feeling okay? Has like watching this like finally got to you?
I think he's having flashbacks to Call of Duty 4 where you had likable protagonists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're a likable protagonist. Jacobs is great.
Who?
The only reason you know his name is because they always
Who?
call you Jacobs.
Jacob's over here by the fence.
Who?
Martin, over here, get in the car.
Oh no, see, I know Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, Wrecker. I'm sorry.
No, it's not Wrecker. He's the squad sergeant that doesn't ever give orders. Is it
Is Wrecker a silent protagonist too?
Patterson?
He was still more
Hey,
likable.
that's it. We're Lieutenant Patterson. That's who we are. Alright.
Sergeant Evans. Shoot those Stukas that aren't in range yet.
Yeah, a lot of your first-person shooters are silent protagonists. That's why I like BJ Blazkowicz.
Yeah.
You know what? He was glorious when he was a silent protagonist in Return to Castle Wolfenstein, just because they showed him obviously enjoying his job.
I liked how in Return to Castle Wolfenstein you would have the Germans would speak English with silly German accents until they saw you, and then they would immediately start speaking German.
And that actually makes sense from a storytelling perspective, because BJ is supposed to know German. But, you know, you need to stay consistent. If your character knows German and you want to make sure the players can hear them, then
I just like the way it sort of got this idea across that like German is this just completely made up language that nobody actually speaks, and so they only speak it when they know that someone's watching. It's a quantum language.
it's Klingon.
Where you only say things that you're not allowed to say on air.
Yeah, they only use German when it's appropriate for suspense.
My God, it's an American. We've got to pretend that we speak a different language to him, quick. That's an American too. Why are you shooting your own allies?
Because I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. So there's a guy with like an assault rifle up in the tower over there. It's not a sniper because there isn't a single sniper in this entire game. And like he's right where the sun is, and it's utterly obnoxious.
These guys wear a lot of armor. These Koreans are here. Is it really even like
It's the Korean American.
a viable
It's the
thing?
Korean American football team.
Like they're like a big collar away from an EOD suit.
Well, you can have the high-end armor with well, except for
How is the Abrams on fire? When did that happen?
It's an Abrams.
It obviously tried to use the smoke screen feature that used to be present on the diesel version of the engine, and they lit the jet fuel on fire.
Oh dear. Well, there it goes.
Jet engines don't
And-
go
That actually
Oh.
explains why it exploded too, because they've got the jet fuel sprayed on the engine.
Yep. So it would have done it anyway then.
Yes. There we go.
See,
See,
it's the same as the Russians learned that like turbines and tanks aren't good.
I like how you're taking on the entire Korean army with a PDW.
Those don't exist. It's a marketing term. SMG.
Nope, personal defense.
You don't seem to be defending your person so much as like attacking other people's.
you know
That man over there, for example, he was my person. He was like my manservant. How dare you?
that shows something I wish more games did, where if you hit an enemy with a grenade, it actually does damage to him. Like the actual.
So do that in Call of Duty.
There's another game. I think it was a Call of Duty where if you actually peg somebody with a grenade, it'll kill them.
I think it was the old Medal of Honor games where if you threw a grenade, they would pick them up and throw them back at you.
It was, yeah.
I like how I think it happens in Turning Point and it happens in Legendary as well. Because they want to show off the grenade throwback AI, enemies will actually run towards grenades to try and throw them back at you. Like you'll be able to get them, like lure them into the blast radius even. No, it's not in Legendary because in Legendary the grenades are remote detonated. And they like advertise this as a feature even though you can do this in fucking Goldeneye.
There's a game that used to let you throw grenades back as well, and
Halo.
No, it wasn't Halo. It was a different one.
Every FPS made in the last
Actually,
10
can you
years?
throw grenades back in Halo?
No, because they're all sticky.
Oh yeah.
But the enemy AI could throw a grenade, you could catch it and throw it back again if you were quick enough.
So this is the thing that doesn't make sense as well. Like, why is the bridge full of vehicles here when America is supposed to gradually run out of fuel? I think they just forgot about anything except the AMP for this level.
That sounds about right.
So they brought some bulldozer
Sentry
here, got
towers.
halfway through bulldozing everything off the bridge, and then just gave up. Even though obstructing this bridge would actually be in their best interests.
So I like how nobody's really watching anything. That everybody was just staring straight ahead except for Connor or Patterson.
Bob.
I like how Connor doesn't care about you anymore. You served your purpose.
He's dead to me.
If you held onto a rocket launcher here, could you shoot that?
Wait, that guy just repelled straight through the helicopter blades.
Well, we've already determined that the helicopters work through. So this section's kind of boring too, by the way.
Yeah. The helicopter works because, like, it's a battlefield helicopter, so the pilot's just sitting in there, just giving the finger to the ground so hard he's floating. Oh,
That guy looked like he was having a good
Yeah.
time.
he just couldn't get comfortable. We've all had nights like that.
I like how all the jets fly in formation on this mission, by the way.
Yeah. Some of them fly out of the ocean if you look down long enough.
This section always reminded me of Half-Life 2, underneath the bridge.
Yeah, again, it's a very accurate simulation of battlefield combat. We've just got all the jets twatting around, chasing each other and not doing anything useful.
Sounds alright.
There's also an abundance of orange ladders in this game.
Well, it's like the red crane candle in Resident Evil games.
Oh look, how
Oh, yeah.
incredibly convenient. It's a shame they didn't know that was there.
I tried to do this section still to see if I could, and you can't. It's obviously programmed around the idea that you would throw the grenade first things first, because you gotta save your dudes, man!
They've got a KU bank band radar linked to a 20mm.
Why did
I
it...
don't know. Yeah, that's like it's like, I don't know. Is he like just supposed to have some sort of random inability to think?
He's,
I bet if this game had sold, he would end up on like Wikipedia's list of characters with autism or something. That would just be the one piece of evidence they had, because that list is terrible.
Yeah, Jacobs does fall off a lot of shit.
Yeah. Although the number's wrong, because like it counts things he didn't fall off. He jumped off the
Well, I mean, he's been through a lot. He gets hit by a truck.
yeah.
He falls off a church.
Associates with Connor.
Falls off a bridge.
Oh, we've got a concussion.
Association
There's a
with
reason
Connor.
we're associating with Connor. We've got a traumatic brain injury.
So the javelin there is
Oh yeah,
the javelin there
you
is called
died
the
in the bus crash. This is all a dream.
yeah, the javelin there is called the ORS-M launcher, and I hate everyone who was involved.
Oh
in
god,
that.
I've
Yes.
never noticed that. As soon as you said it out loud, because I always called it the OSM, and I never realized that's...
I thought the first letter was an R. I thought it was ROS-M launcher, which was like bearable. No, it's ORS-M launcher.
Oh, that is awful.
So that's definitely your biggest tonal issue right there.
I dodge a lot of rockets in this these playthroughs. I'm just kind of noticing that.
And yet, like, they actually got the reload process for the javelin right, which no one does.
But you don't just throw away the whole thing when you're done
No,
with
no, strangely not.
Now,
it? Yeah, the tube
Yeah,
comes off.
Neither can you carry 50 of them like Solid Snake can.
Solid Snake never uses a javelin.
No, it's Metal Gear Solid 4. You can get a javelin. And he just drops
Oh, you
the
can,
whole
can't
damn
you?
thing and pulls a new one out of his armpit.
I never played the never made it through the 6 hours of cutscenes required to get to actual gameplay, so...
Oh yeah, the game only has like 5.5 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, and
then
most of it's and like 5.5 hours of gameplay, and 10 of it is following a guy around through an empty city.
I tried so hard to get through that, and I think The third time where they let you play for 30 seconds and then put you back in a cutscene, I kind of just turned my PlayStation off and went and played something else.
Well, at the very beginning of MGS4, you walk 4 feet, crawl under a truck, and hit a cutscene, and then walk another 10 feet and hit another cutscene.
Otacon, why is my voice like this?
And then,
I don't know, Snake.
once you finish the cutscene, you get a codec call.
Yeah, the cutscene involved in a helicopter. I don't remember what it was, but the one right there at the beginning of the game. It was like Air Force One or something like that. That's when I gave up. It's just like, alright, I can't do this anymore.
Colonel Campbell, you want me to Metal Gear?
Yes.
Oh, that was a convenient cut.
Yeah, that was where I found out that this game will boot you if you take too long. Or, wait, I think that one's coming up later.
So, as I recall, the way that sequence there actually works is that, like, there's an invisible timer and it resets if a Korean stands on the platform.
I never confirmed that. I remember hearing you talk about it when I was watching it, but I...
So I know, like, if you let guys get up on the platform, it takes way longer for some reason.
Because he's got to tell them about the KU band radar.
Yeah. You've got to call in a friendly UCAV.
There it is.
I've got to
yeah.
turn off the, oh.
See where it tells you that you take too long?
Objective failed.
It's 2 people romantically sharing weapons. That,
Call in.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, where it actually, if you take too long.
what exactly is going on with that thing's tail? Like in the...
Good kill.
How are we even launching these? We're at a bad angle for this.
They're coming out of the camera.
Just,
These are individual rounds of film. It's a scandal launcher.
we're secretly flying the Einhander around. It's just using the rocket pod.
That's another down. Good shot.
UCAV is at bingo fuel, returning to base.
UCAV's out of fuel, oh no.
We need to get out of here now!
That's so inconvenient, because it would have been so useful later.
Meanwhile, they're using the white phosphorus effect again.
Alright, another one of these on-rail things.
Oh, they turned the Humvee around then.
Yeah, I noticed that. In yours it was backwards.
Yep.
Your minigun has explosive rounds in it, apparently.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it doesn't look like it has a belt feed.
It's...
Oh yeah, there's nothing feeding ammo into this thing.
It's self-replicating ammo. It's the same technology that lets shoot 'em ups happen.
The same technology that lets Goliath happen, weirdly enough. So, do you have to shoot this thing in the end or not?
You know what, CQC was saying yes, you have to. The few times I tried to do it, it kind of seemed that way.
Yeah.
I think if you know when the timer is on it, you could probably just shoot it minimally. Because I think what it is it's got a...
T-Rex.
Oh, it's got the Jurassic Park buried inside of it, but,
Yeah.
I think...
It's a terrifying...
Do Humvees have countermeasures?
What's that?
Do Humvees actually have countermeasures?
Against what? Like,
Yeah.
rockets heading straight for them, yeah.
I know that there's point defense defense lasers going on them lately, but I don't know if they're actually on Humvees or if they're just on the tanks or whatever. But
What you're actually doing is you're just throwing a handful of confetti in the air and the missile just gets distracted.
we're throwing chaff grenades. You're gonna see all the cameras spazzing out too.
It thinks it's its birthday, so it goes home and it like wants to go and see its relatives, and then it's all like, no, it's not your birthday. And it's like, wait, I'm a missile. I don't even have a family.
That's one of the Schlock Mercenary smart missiles, where you can use them as a semi-active radar as well.
Enemy armor column rolling in from the
So meanwhile, it's time for Connor's meaningless but wonderful sacrifice.
Friendly units are danger close. Negative. We don't have a solid ID on hostile targets.
Just shoot.
You know what? I just realized it. The pilot actually called it out properly. We don't have an ID on hostile targets. Those guys are surrendering.
Affirmative. Airstrike inbound. Strike leader, confirm you have a
Oh yeah, so here we go. Here's the
I don't
front
think
lines fuel of warplanes that they just flew in for no reason.
Why are they flying in formation?
What?
Why do they bomb it in that direction? The bomb should be hitting behind them.
Why couldn't he say, like, bomb, like, 100 yards north of my flare?
Attack the tanks that are coming this way, you idiots.
Guys,
Just blow up that side
you're
of the
literally
bridge.
within throwing distance. How about you just use your eyeballs and ID the targets?
We recaptured half of the
Please use
bridge.
those.
Good
Please
job,
use those
guys.
special bombs that can destroy tanks completely, but not bridges.
Also, I feel like those suspension cables are probably important.
No.
Really?
The ones just dangling there.
Next, you'll be suggesting that this bridge will actually collapse if you put a certain weight of things on it.
No. This bridge is indomitable. It's
A symbol.
Yeah.
That's why it has two towers. They go together and they make the noise.
Oh god.
Wait,
We
so
had to end on a
so that
pun
was
that
a-
bad, obviously.
that was a British news station. So they have communication between us and the rest of the world, but they don't
Of
care.
course not.
Yeah, the European
call.
Union is planning to support them with debt.
Sounds good.
Oh, and we made it through without going crazy.
Yeah, and what an incredible coincidence that, like, on my related videos there is a picture of a child looking into a toilet. Summary of Homefront.
Oh my god. So. Yeah, no, that was definitely a trip.
So what image are you going to throw up here then?
I don't know. I ran out of funny. I kind of ran out of funny Homefront art that I wasn't sure, or that I was sure didn't come from like an 8-year-old that I would actually kind of feel bad for posting.
Just grab a random picture of Connor and draw like eyebrows on him.
You should draw your own
No.
image.
I'm too lazy for that.
Composite shot of Goliath running over Connor. It would be the greatest thing.
Download all the models into Gary's mod and just do it that way.
No, just find a picture of like Goliath just side on, and then like just put Connor underneath it. Do not use effort. But yeah, so we didn't introduce ourselves at all, did we?
We didn't.
No,
Let's do that at the end. That makes sense.
This was Neberos. I regret nothing and everything.
This is Evil Tim. I regret doing this yet again.
this is Hornet, and I came in here crazy. I don't know.
So,
I should have drank more.
I think all of us
should have drunk everything.
Yeah, I'm deeply regretting not actually grabbing a bottle of scotch.
You would have finished the whole bottle.